Right, guys, hopefully you can actually hear me this time. If you're already watching or if you're in the chat, please let me know if you can actually hear us. There was a bit of a fault with the microphone, so I know John was in the chat already. John, can you please let me know? James Jones is there. Can you actually hear me now? Someone give me a thumbs up, please. I hope you can hear. Moen from Endcrafter. It's all good from Ali. Right, thank you very much. I don't know what happens. Sometimes my laptop decides it needs a reboot before the webcam and the mic actually start working properly. So, sorry if you joined us all. Even for everybody that is now in the chat, it seems there's quite a few people more. I was going to start off on a massively positive note, but unfortunately, we've been saddened by the news of the passing of Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. And that's a massive shock. I know he was big friends with Chris Cornell, and Chris Cornell was a massive musical influence for me, being a bass player, Soundgarden and Nirvana through the 90s, and then obviously on Audio Slave because I loved Rage Against the Machine as well. Chester Bennington, of course, Lincoln Park, got me through my teens. I remember listening to Lincoln Park 17 years ago. I remember getting drunk when I was 15 to In the End in a friend's house. So massive condolences to Chester's family. Unfortunately, Phil hasn't joined us on webcam. He's still being consoled by the rest of the Hive Fleet before he can join us. So, yeah, massive sad news tonight, literally just before we came online. On to good things, though. I haven't got much of my own stuff painted. I've been quite busy. I've had my final exam at college the week before last or last week. I can't remember. I've been absolutely stored off. I've been busy doing backdrops, if you've seen the video on the channel as well. A couple of lads, Ali Bongo, who's in the chat, Phil, Shane Sanderson, Will Galloway, Tony Carolyn, and David MacDonald, all donated a couple of quid a piece through PayPal. And I was able to actually make them backdrops with a couple of different spray paints and the foam board. So you will see them in the battle report coming soon. I've still got a few more to edit and things. There's one actually rendering now, which I'll upload as soon as it's done. So it'll probably be up overnight, which is Orcs versus Necrons. So that's massive. That's going to hopefully improve the quality of the battle reports going forward as well. I then got another donation through PayPal from Mr. Rick Lewis, and I just want to thank him a lot. He donated, I'll say, a significant donation, to which I've purchased a new webcam, so I don't have to use my laptop, which means I can actually have the webcam up here because this light is annoying when you guys are trying to watch us. So I'll be able to have the webcam up on the wall. What I'm also going to look to do with that as well is look into potentially live streaming the games on Twitch whilst filming the battle report at the same time. So if you watch on Twitch, you can see the action live. On YouTube, you'll then see the finished one, which will have obviously a bit more production quality, the more sort of table down camera rather than the top down table. So that's coming to the channel. I am looking at setting up a Patreon for other bits and pieces as well. What does that mean for the channel? Nothing is changing, okay? Nothing is going to go anywhere. You're still going to get the same amount of content. Hopefully, we're going to up the quality of it as well. Phil is massively on board. I've got the support of a number of the lads at Macca. Rick Lewis, there we go. Rick, thank you very much for tuning in. I can't, like I said, I can't thank you enough for that donation. The webcam has been ordered. It will be going up very soon. I did ask Rick via email, which I haven't gotten back to him yet, as I've been very busy with work and stuff today. But basically, I said to him, look, what battle report do you want to see? I'll make it happen. So there is a few things on there. And one thing that he asked for was some orcs. So, Rick, there is... oh, who's this? Have you been consoled by the Hive Fleet now?
Yes.
Very sad news indeed, isn't it?
Yes, very sad.
So yeah, I was just about to say actually that we're going to up the quality of the content, and Phil's on board to help out a lot more. Like I said, we've got Ali Bongo, Alistair Everett, David McDonald, Tony Carroll, and Shane Sanderson, all pushing ideas forward as well. And me and Phil's going to look to hopefully do a narrative campaign very soon, but we're going to up the production of it. We're going to have voice acting and stuff on there as well, because Jacob very kindly sent us an app that warps our voices, so there's going to be lots of different voices on there. And people, I'm going to try and get people and members of the community to contribute to some voice acting in it as well.
I have to admit that if we ever play Ali Bongo,
if we ever play Ali?
Yeah, Ali Bongo. You need to bring a bongo.
Well, Ali's going to the NWO, so hopefully I'll catch him there and be able to grab a game with him. Hopefully.
Yeah. Get a bongo playing.
But it's pending on time, because I promised Macca a game like months ago, and I'm apparently having a game with Airspace. So I am going to be there at War Games from opening on the morning. So hopefully I'll squeeze 3 games in. Oh, Quick Like Dansko says, what is the app called? Let me have a quick look.
And work on the Orkanauts is continuing.
Oh, mate, that's lovely, that.
My frigate is nigh undone. Just need to do some of the person on the wheel, the nest guy, and then the base, and my frigate will be done.
It was only Tuesday night that was still primer, so honestly, well done at that. Big McDanskull, the app is called Voice Changer something. I can't tell from my phone. It was just on the Google Play Store. It was one of the voice changing ones. But I've got quite a deep voice anyway, and I basically spoke into it. Blood for the blood god. And then you warp it so that it sounds even deeper and really rah. So yeah. Phil, does this mean that we're going to get Orkanauts versus Beast Claws soon?
You can fuck off.
War language is the PG show, Philip.
You can fuck off.
Howie, man, less of the language.
You can have.
That's
what you can have.
I know you're upset at Chester, mate. I know.
Good.
So,
even more teasers. More teasers. Got the Admiral. Got a deck sweeper. And I've got very different Orkanaut companies done. Just need to be based. It just had some skirmish games today. So that's why they were painted, because I want to get them painted for that. It wasn't a huge task to get a few models painted, so it should be pretty cool.
Sweet. How did your skirmish games go? I mean, I know you were in Games Workshop when I popped in on my lunch. How did it go?
So I messed up big time on the first game where I died first. Turns out when you do bravery, it's not 2d6, it's 1d6. And when you feel it, you lose models and you don't run. Everyone doesn't run away. I did 2d6, and as soon as I failed it, everyone ran away, and that was the exact wrong thing how it supposed to went down. So I fucked myself at that point. Because I was playing with two people who didn't know how to play.
Or Shadow War.
No, it's just literally like, if you see I lost a model, you have to do a bravery test for everyone.
I know how it plays, but what I'm saying is you did it like Shadow Wars or Comrade.
And so I kind of I messed up there. So the first game I just messed up big time. The second game was a 2v2 where it was and we got 10 renown more, so we got 40 renown, and it was my dwarfs and orcs, hard boys, some iron jaws, versus skeletons and a vampire lord and a whole bunch of beastmen. And I killed all the beastmen, the vampire lord, and some skeletons. And the orc player unbind one spell and killed 2 skeletons. And the beast player had about 15 people.
Nice.
So it was like the orc was just piggybacking. And it was just like, oh, come on, come and help. So that went really well for me. The third game went extremely well for me. The first 2 rounds were really scary, but I managed to put some hurt on some Sylvanas, and then they backed away like crazy, and this whole Empire dude came in and swarmed the board. And because the Sylvanas backed away so much that even if I moved, I couldn't catch up with them to fire at them. So I just turned, looked at the Empire, and wiped them in 1 turn, and I had about 20 models. So I did really, really well there. Then the Sylvanas came in, and they didn't have enough models to hold the center because it was like a king of the hill.
Yeah.
So it went really well for me. I had a good combo that I made with the chemist is overpowered, like really powerful in skirmish. He's 20 points, and he has a 3d6 shooting attack, 10 inches, 4s, -2, 1 damage. But because it can split attacks off, it's like dice off when you're shooting people. It comes in so handy. But -2 is such a big deal as well. And I had this like combo on him because he was my leader, where his command ability is a 6-inch bubble of reroll 1s to hit in shooting and combat and that. And my artifact is the helm, which is once per game I can do another command ability, which was a 6-inch bubble I added onto my wound rolls. So I had like Thunderers and loads of Orkanauts, just having this really nice bubble of shooting, have a really nice turn of shooting, and by that time I can just whittle them down, and it just goes so well.
I'm sorry, I've just seen Surreal's comment. Welcome, Surreal. I know you must like never be off YouTube because I know you're always on the Wargamer Online live chats and stuff. He says, "What the Samuel?"
What? Why am I Samuel?
Samuel Tarly?
Yeah, I know, but why? Why am I Samuel?
Because you look like him.
I don't look anything like him. I look more like a Jon Snow.
Marcus says, can't wait for the NWO weekend, whole weekend of gaming. Yes, absolutely. Surreal says, Phil, have you ever actually been to Miami?
I don't know whether that's like a joke or something.
I don't get it either. Have you actually been to Miami?
I've never actually been to Miami.
Like Will Smith going to Miami. And Benito, I'm Miami.
I've never been.
And Marcus says, looking for revenge from Warhammer World, Harry. I wholeheartedly expect you are. I'll probably only bring 2 armies with us to the NWO. One I'm using, and another one just because I've got no idea where it's going to be. But, yeah. So, hobby-wise, I am painting high elves for Sean. I'm doing spearmen. I've just airbrushed them so they can go to one side. The Tau haven't had much done. Ace Face is online. Hello, Ace. I'm just saying to Maka that I'm bringing 2 armies to the NWO. So which one would you like to play against when we are not competing? Because I would love to know. Ideally, I only want to bring 2 armies with us, but we'll have to see. So, stuff that I'm working on. I'm now painting up 2 changelings. Why? Well, one is for Maka, and the other one is Phil's. Because Phil's helped out a lot, so I was kind enough. What armies? Well, I'm probably just going to bring Harlequins to the NWO because I don't really want to carry that much with us travel-wise. So the Harlequins are probably going to end up going, and one other army, basically. So yeah, that's what I'm taking to the NWO. I just want to go and have fun because I can't. Oh, this is going to sound nasty or harsh, but I can't be bothered with competitiveness. I'm just going to go and enjoy myself, basically. So, are you working on more dwarfs then, Phil?
Yeah, I tired myself out last night getting the dudes finished off. So I'm looking through the book. Quite enjoyed playing them today, so I'm looking through the book and stuff. I might do some more work on my ironclad because I've just done the gold. I might do the silver tonight, but I'm going to look through the book because I'm trying to decide on how to do my bases. And there's actually a picture with the. Let me find it here. There's a picture right there. Oh, right there. There's with all these different kind of bases. So I'm trying to look for inspiration of how I do my bases for my overlords. And then I'm going to be looking at like artifacts and mind abilities and how I want to run my barrack and stuff like that. I've got my 2,000 point list already. It's just deciding on, because there's like abilities for my boats. So there's something called the last word, which basically is Overwatch for my boat. And then there's athematic weapons, treasures of the sky ports, and then you've got to pick your barrack, and then you've got your articles, your amendments, your footnotes, your command traits. So there's a lot of abilities and stuff, a lot more than like Zinch or other ones. So there's like a lot of things I need to consider when I want to customize my army. In the end, because I went out and bought some Sky Wardens, which is the jump pack ones today, but they didn't have the base, well, a fight stand. So in the end, I just returned it, and I bought a HQ for my my Lamenters. And I'll fix them together. I built them, and whilst I was there, because it was really easy to build. There's my HQ, my Barbarian Dreadnought.
Nice, nice.
So,
Dave says he'd love to play the Harleys, so that's absolutely fine by me. I will definitely bring the Harlequins.
And then I made a 1,500 point list for my Lamenters Dreadnought army.
Right.
And it is 3 Death Company Dreadnoughts with Blood Talons, Melter Gun, Heavy Flamer, and Magna Grapple. 3 Furiosa Dreadnoughts with a Close Combat Fist with Heavy Flamer and a Frag Cannon. And then it is the Liberian with the Melter Gun. And then 2 squads of 5 Assault Marines with jump packs. Because I couldn't fit another Dreadnought in. So
I would love to play against that. Dreadnought armies are fantastic now, I think.
I think I might be able to squeeze in 1 Dreadnought taking out the Assault Marines, but I just don't know.
Yeah. We've got Mikey joining us in the chat as well, and Stephen Dunn. Got myself a Libby Dreadwind to be pinned. Stephen's.
I'm going to slap you, Ali, if you continue. I'm going to slap you.
What's he doing? Librarian. Phil?
Yeah?
You know them elite Militarum Tempestus guys?
What about them?
What are they called? I can't remember the names.
Neither can I.
and what are Tyranids again?
Big bugs.
Yeah, but you get guys that hunt them. Like an alien race has a specific name, and I can't remember what it is.
Cow?
No, there's a name for general aliens altogether.
Extraterrestrials? Xenos?
James Jones says Skions.
Skions?
Yeah, that's the elite Militarum Tempestus guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Skions. And Xenos.
Xenos.
Oh, you can pronounce it now.
I've always pronounced it right. You're deaf. You're deaf?
What?
You're deaf.
So yeah, it's all fun and games, and I'm looking forward to doing these 2 changelings actually. Oh, Surreal says, "Come on, Phil, you know you want to rise the South Beach." Surreal's actually inviting you over to Miami, Phil.
Cruise the South Beach, Harry. And you're blaming me for the way I speak. Oh, I don't want to go to Miami. I'll go to California to get some of that Californian haze. Baby.
Get some of what?
California haze.
What's that?
Read. California haze. Maybe we can go to Colombia to get the Colombian flu.
I have no idea what you're even talking
The
about,
Colombian
Phil.
flu.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Colombian flu.
Well, that's news to me because I didn't know that was a thing.
What, Colombian flu? Coke.
So, should we talk about the upcoming narrative campaign that we're looking to film once I get some of the Death Watch painted?
Sure, we can do that.
Maybe
Cool.
if you guys
This guy.
What?
It'll include this guy.
That's a blue horror.
Yeah, it'll include that guy.
So,
It'll include the blue horror.
the general gist of the first mission, okay, is I seen a piece of terrain that somebody made on Facebook somewhere. I don't remember where, and it was the giant bloodthirsty D-axe straight through the middle of a Land Raider, and I thought that looks awesome. I've got 10 drop pods and I don't need 10. So let's make a drop pod like crashed into the earth with a mound of earth around it, with the axe straight on the top of it and tore the drop pod open. What colour's going to stand out? Probably yellow. So I thought, right, let's go Imperial Fists. So that's the colour that I'm going to do in the drop pod. And then I was like, oh, let's make this about a bit of narrative. So I've got a battered up old land speeder. I haven't got the parts to fix it, and I'm not too fussed about it. So I'm going to do the land speeder as well. And then I've got a load of Marines that somebody gave me as well. So I think I'll just paint a few of them as like dead Marines climbing out the drop pod and stuff. And what I thought, MacDonald says, I hear there will be some voice acting. I will take some chaos stuff. Yeah, Mac, I'm looking for people to do voice acting as well. So, yeah, we'll discuss that. But what the idea I want is basically this Imperial Fist drop pod has landed for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe there's a single squad of Death Watch there. And they've basically called on the Blood Angels for help. And we're going to use the Blood Angels drop pods at anything that has the deep strike. I say deep strike special rule. What we're going to do is on turn one, we're just going to keep everything in reserve. We're going to give them 3 drop pods. We're not going to take the points cost into account. They can't hold objectives. They can't do anything. They don't count. They're literally just there for narrative purposes. What we're going to do is just have this one Imperial Fist character on the drop pod somewhere, and maybe probably deploy the Death Watch squad somewhere on the table. What we're then going to do is roll for the Blue Angel reserves on a 4+. They're allowed to come in, and then we're going to use the divide the table into 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll the dice for where the drop pod or the squad comes in, and we'll actually use the scatter dice and scatter it from the center of that panel. So basically, whatever turns up on a 4+. So I might get lucky, I might not. Phil's then going to roll for his reserves, which are probably, for the first instance, maybe be Khorne. He's looking dubiously if you can see his camera as well, which I don't think you can. Possibly Zinch. There you go. So they're going to turn up from the board edge, but roll much the same way as what the reserves did for Blood Angels, but they will come in on 3+. Then on turn 2, basically, they're not going to have to be 9 inches away for deep strikes and things like that. And we're just basically going to play the mission, see how it turns out, and try and rescue this Imperial Fist character. That's the general gist of it. What this Imperial Fist character has, why Chaos brought his drop pod crashing down, I don't know. We haven't gotten that far into it. But then I want to introduce more of the Death Watch to basically go on a mission by themselves, and then have like a larger game at the end. But we're going to try and mix the demons up as well. Phil's on painting some Nurgle. Sharpie's got some Nurgle. I've got Khorne. Phil's got Zinch. So probably play over like 3 games.
Harry, question.
Yes.
If a unit's within 3 inches of an enemy unit with a sigmar, I'm echoing by the way.
Yeah.
I'm echoing.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try that. Am I echoing now?
Hang on. I can't hear you echoing, no.
Okay.
So you said if a unit is within 3 inches in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. Can it shoot?
Yeah. You can always shoot. Sigmar.
Okay, that's another thing I failed to do today.
You think of 40k?
Yeah, I've done a lot wrong today in Age of Sigmar. So how does this sound? Once per battle in your hero phase, one of your units within 3 inches of an enemy unit can pile in and attack as if it were the combat phase, or shoot as if it were the shooting phase.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
So if you're in combat, you can still shoot. Because it's Sigmar.
And I totally flipped my mind. Totally forgot about that.
Anyway, we've got a couple of comments. So we've got Reese Routledge joining us. We've got Wadey says, genuinely having a shit time at the moment, but love this live chat, keeps me going. Anything to help at all, Wadey, we aim to entertain. I would say please, but Phil is here. And yeah, exactly. Airspace is going to shoot off for Wargaming Weekly. No worries, mate. Have a good show. If we are done before you finish, we will join. Let's see what comes up. So, what else do we have going? Oh, that's what I've got over there. I've got a plague furnace I need to paint. So yeah. Anyway, someone threw a question at us. We've gone quiet.
Question? What's the question?
We don't have a question. That's what I'm saying. Someone asked one. Unless you have something that you wish to say. Don't think that counts. Please, Phil, no ice lollies this time.
Hey, I might go get an ice lolly. Like, not gonna lie, I might go get an ice lolly. How's this sound? My units can run and shoot. Mix that with can run and shoot in the first turn, sorry. And mix that with Brock Gudjonson, which they can run and charge. That's pretty good.
Mikey says thoughts on the new chapter tactics. So
Craven got really good.
Let's discuss each of the chapter tactics at the minute, right?
Okay.
So we've probably seen most of what's actually being leaked, and community page has done most of them. The Ultramarine one looks very good. Falling back and being able to shoot is very powerful. It essentially grants everybody fly for that purpose. But the R at -1 to hit. However, combined with gunman or a captain, you're rerolling the hits. So I think tactical-wise, it's very good. Read on, Phil.
Retreating and shooting is good. Obviously, it's good, but for Ultramarines, it's really good because I think, looking at Gullyman, who can allow you to reroll hits, I think, because we heard that the aggressors for the Primaris, if they stand still, can fire twice. So if you've got 4 units of those with, surrounding Gullyman, and they don't move, they get a fire twice and reroll. And if they get charged, which I'm assuming is probably the thing that they don't want, then they can retreat and still shoot, which is pretty cool. So I do feel like Ultramarines might go from this really tactical army to really shoot the army. And I think a lot more will appear once we start seeing relics and warlord traits. So I kind of feel like Imperial Fists have lost their bolt to heavy armies, and lost the sort of shooting side of them things to switch to these Ultramarines being a more versatile shooting army. So I do think it's really good, but it's put them in a certain type of Space Marine play style. So I don't expect to see assault armies made from Ultramarines. I mean, you can do it, and there's probably fluff for it, but because of their chapter tactics, I don't expect it. Because I don't expect like Terminators with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields to retake an Ultramarines army. I don't expect to see Assault Marines unless you want to, because they already have fly, so they can retreat and still fire. So it's like it's a bit weird. So it's a bit like it's now Ultramarines are now gone into the shooting style of Space Marine player, but retreating and still being able to shoot is massive.
Yeah,
it's pretty massive. So
the next one that was revealed was the Raven Guard, and if I'm correct in thinking, you can basically deploy your units 9 inch away. Essentially, you get
no. Their chapter tactics is if you're more than 12 inches away from them, you have -1 to hit.
Right.
And their stratagem, I can't remember what the Ultramarine stratagem was. I will definitely go back and check though, since we're talking about this in depth. Yeah, Warhammer Community. Have to admit though, Warhammer Community is probably the best thing that's come out of GW recently.
Absolutely, like been absolutely knocking it out of the park with the releases and sheer engagement. I mean, the amount of users to put. A lot of people are like, oh, they shouldn't have done the FAQ. Like they should have had them right. Well, yeah, maybe they should have. But at the end of the day, they've acknowledged that people need clarification, and they're on the ball with it, and they're getting it out there, which Games Workshop never used to do. So, whilst I agree that in a lot of instances things should have been right, they've acknowledged it and they're fixing it all. So you're on the community side here?
Yeah. Oh no, it was the Ultramarines were shown with the Redemptor, so they didn't have anything listed for their stratagem.
Oh yeah, they put the rules out for them, didn't they?
So the Raven Guard have a stratagem where you can, I think it's 3 command points, and you spend to deploy one of your units with a chapter tactic special rule in like 9 inches away type of reserve, which the vehicles don't have it, but just think of like a Dreadnought or like Assault Centurions. Raven Guard, in my opinion, have always been seen as either being like an outflank army or an assault army, like scouts or outflank, because they had like a huge decuing detachment where everything could outflank, which was their sort of thing, and then like strike from the shadows. That's what it was all about. So that -1 to hit 12-inch thing is pretty good because it's kind of like an old knife fighting rule. The stratagem allows for these uncommon assault units to be up in the face. So now that Dreadnoughts can't go into drop pods, this is a way of getting them there. And then you've got your Assault Centurions getting quite close as well, so it's pretty cool. They did discuss about their one of their warlord traits and even a relic when they're put onto a onto like a dude, a captain or something like that. What they were talking about? Let me check it here. But yeah, Trike allows Raven Guard units to reroll their charges. I'm assuming it's probably going to be 6 inches. So bringing in Shrike, the 9 inch away, and some other assault units there is going to be so powerful. They even talk about like bringing Reavers closer with like their grapples and their like shock grenades that can stop Overwatch is really powerful with them. Yeah. And then they talk about the stratagem. And it's like also they talk about how it forces the opponent to deploy defensively.
Yeah. Which is massive. So I think Raven Guard is definitely one to look out for. The next one that they announced was White Scars. And if I'm correct in thinking, White Scars can add 2 inches to their advanced move.
If you want to make your own Raven Guard characters, their unique warlord trait, Silent Stalker, prevents enemies from firing Overwatch, while a Raven's Fury chapter relic allows a jump pack character to move at blistering speeds and reroll charge ranges. Combined, you'll have a potent and deadly character assassin. So something really think about there is you can have Shrike, this brilliant named character, the Raven Guard, but you'd also probably want to put in your own character creator as well. And if it's like that for the times of the Ultramarines, when you look at their relics and stuff, and other people's relics and warlord traits, I think that's pretty cool because it makes these named characters that have this extensive fluff wanted, desired, and then also your own character you want and you desire to create as well. So I think that's pretty cool and pretty awesome design on the people who designed the decks. I definitely think Raven Guard, there's certain different things here that work so well together, and then the synergy from it is going to be really good. I do think Raven Guard's going to be at the top for Marine armies, but that's Marine armies with chapter tactics. I feel like Blood Angels, Space Wolves, Dark Angels, Grey Knights will all kind of be up there as well, with their unique units and stuff like that. So I feel like Raven Guards have never really had a limelight. I know that Imperial Fist had pretty much a limelight in Kill Team because their Bolter Drill was pretty powerful. And I know Ultramarines had their limelight as well, and even Salamanders and Iron Hands and White Scars. But I never really seen anything come forth from the likes of a Raven Guard army. So seeing this is pretty cool, and I think a lot of Raven Guard people are pretty excited. But of course, if it's like the similar fashion of 6 warlord tricks, 6 relics, there could be so many possible outcomes and so many possible ways to play a Marine army that I can totally see people making. There could be a whole load of homebrew armies. I think that would be pretty cool too.
That Wargamer says, can't wait to see the Imperial Fist one tomorrow, but I'm not expecting too much from it. It's actually already been leaked, but not officially by the community page.
Oh no, it was officially revealed.
What? The Imperial Fist one was revealed?
They all were officially revealed. It kind of looked like the old relic sort of table. I'm going to try and find it here. Yeah, it was like a little post saying choosing the right chapter tactics for your successors, and it had a last name Sarah, and it was like a whole picture. It looks like the whole like relic layout that they had, and they have like it all in. Like you got here is Imperial Fists, which is called Siege Masters. Enemy units do not receive the benefit to their saving throws of being in cover against attacks made by Imperial Fist models with this tactic. In addition, you can reroll any field wound rolls for Imperial Fist units with this tactic when they are targeting a building. I know there's like a huge controversial thing between our sort of group about this, is that the ignore cover thing is, it's very good, and it's quite powerful. And my friend Jacob, who's the Warforge, says this is better than the Salamanders one, which I'll go over Salamanders in a bit. But I sort of see when I've had all my games, cover is hardly ever come into a factor, and when it does, it's only a couple of units, and even then, what I'm firing at those units is a lot of minuses anyway. And
I totally agree that the Salamander one is more powerful. If you've got a las cannon in every 5-man squad, right, you're re-rolling to hit and re-rolling to wound with that las cannon in every squad. That is so much better than simply ignores cover.
And then on top of this, I haven't seen any like buildings or fortifications or anything like that used. So
no,
the only ones I've seen is me with my sport system, but I don't even think that's got a keyword building. And that's only like fortification key role. So when I'm thinking about it, I think people might start printing them if they are good, but I don't think anyone's actually like looked over the rules because no one looked over in 7th. So I feel like when people are looking at them, they might take them if they're good, but it makes sense in the fluff for them to be these siege masters and be good at taking down buildings. But when you just don't see it, it isn't a huge deal. The ignore cover thing is a big deal, but majority stuff that added to cover before is now like minuses to hit. So it's a bit weird, that one, and I think they got it the worst. I think they got the worst. Like I was expecting a lot from their bolters. Like I was expecting something like Fury of the Legion, where their bolters, if they remain still, their bolters become rapid fire too.
That would have been fantastic, actually. I think that would have been better.
Yeah, I was expecting like their like heavy bolters became like a heavy 4, or they ignore the minuses or something like that, And I was expecting a lot of their bolters to look like you can have a twin heavy bolter on a dreadnought. That I found out today when I was making my dreadnought list. Like I was expecting like something like Hurricane bolters on the Ironclad. That's a very viable choice for Imperial Fists. I was suspecting a lot of these bolter stuff to be still prominent, and it wasn't. But yet again, we haven't seen the relics or the warlord traits, and this might be a tactic, and the relics and warlord traits might be very, very good for the Imperial Fists, and we just don't know it yet. So there's a lot of speculation with the whole way the army works. I'm actually expecting the chapters, and it's very low expectation because we don't really need it because of the way the attachments is. I'm expecting them to switch some of them to troops roles, like different things around, so that going these fluffy armies are quite like if you go fluffy, and these switching of battlefield roles means you could get a brigade quite easily with certain chapters. So I can totally, like, for example, Night Lords, for example, I could totally see them making Raptors troops. So then you've got your troop choices with Raptors, your elite choice with the Warp Talons, and then Jacob's got his Lord with his jump pack and his Sorcerer with his jump pack to go into HQ. And then his elite, he's going with like Dreadnoughts, and his heavy support is going with like a Scorpius and things like that. And I could totally see them changing the battlefield roles. Whether they will do that is another thing entirely, because they made all these detachments to break down the whole shenanigans with the walls and that. So it's a bit interesting. I do see a lot of that. The next chapter tactic is the Salamanders one, so we can talk about it straight after to discuss why I just killed a moth by accident. Totally wasn't even looking either. The Salamanders one is called Master Artisans. Haha, Dark Artisan. You can reroll a single failed hit roll and a single failed wound roll made for a Salamander's unit with this tactic each time it shoots or fights, which is pretty good in my opinion. So this is going to be on like Dreadnoughts, and when you're looking at Dreadnoughts with like las cannons, for example, this can be really powerful. When you're looking at for like a melter gun, you've only got one shot with a melter gun on one wound roll with a melter gun anyway. And since these were all about melter guns before, it's pretty good. The flamers won't take too much from this because you're automatically hitting with your hit rolls, and you've got so many dice in your wound rolls. The flamers won't take too much of a big thing from this. But like las cannons, melters are really going to do very well, and even the plasmas. So if you overcharge and roll those ones, and you've got your reroll one hit roll, you could totally save some of your plasma stuff there as well. So I definitely see Salamanders being this specialist weapon type army. I can see them going a lot of combi weapons with them as well, and I could totally just see this whole plasma melter and then sort of army, las cannon sort of army. The only problem is the chap tactics isn't on vehicles. So when you look at something like a Predator, it won't generally get anything coming from it. But if you look at a Devastator squad or even your captain with a plasma pistol, things could go really great with that chap tactic. It's so simple, but yet so good as well. That's what I'm thinking, Phil. I'm hoping the relics and stratagems are very effective. Maybe like an extra shot or +1 hit with bolt weapons. Yeah, I'm really. Hi Kiblams as well. Hi, Matt. How you doing? I'm really hoping that the Imperial Fist is going to be like something from the Cardinal Overlords. I think the Cardinal Overlords, if you want to know how the codexes are going to be designed, you should look at the Cardinal Overlords. And I'm really stating this. There's so many barracks which are chapter tactics for dwarfs, essentially. The artifacts, the footnotes, the abilities for their vehicles and stuff like that. You can go close combat army. You can go a mass dispel army, like really screw over as inch player. You can go a mass shooty army. You can go a mass mobility army, and it's how you want to play. And that's when I got this and I looked at the formations, and the formations were utterly terrible. The one that was good revolved me getting Stormcast, and that's filthy as out, and I don't want to touch Stormcast because it's disgusting. It was like, all right, it's up to me. It's not up to what I think is good in this. Like when someone goes and grabs corn, it's like get bloodthirsters, get bloodletters, get this banner dude, the Port of Skulls. You are literally down to what you like the look of and what you're going to get. So I like the look of Brock and the Admiral, and they're all about charges and stuff. So my armor is going to be focusing on charges. It'll still have elements of shooting, but I'll be focusing on charges. And I'm thinking of going with Niflheim, which is going to add in that ability of mobility as well. So I feel like there's a lot of nice stuff mixing in, to be honest, and it's pretty cool. Phil is such a good ventriloquist. I totally said that wrong. And if you're going to laugh there, I'm going to punch you in the face.
I'm not, but I know Kiblams has joined us, and I'm about to start painting up a plague furnace for Michael, right? and I'm looking at the colours for the archway on the top, and I've got no idea.
The archmage.
No, the archway.
Archway. I'll pull it up and tell you what I would think.
Yeah, and I've got no idea what colour it needs to be.
Was it a screaming bell?
Plague furnace. It's the other half of it.
But on like top, you mean like the bronze bit on top?
With greeny wash.
It's like a Balasar gold with some rust on it, and then with the oxide on it as well, dripping down.
No, the actual stones.
The what?
The actual stones, not the brass bit.
Oh, the stones. I don't really know what stone colours, to be honest. It kind of seems like a warp-themed grey. And then that looks like the green glaze, like the dark green glaze. It looks like the sharper edges are done with like Fenrisian grey and then white scar.
I'll go for grey with a green wash and see how it comes out.
Yeah. So then the salamanders are pretty cool. I'm expecting something to come from. Here's Tom Taylor as well. Hi, man. Yeah, great. Kiblan say Greystone. Not so sure if a chap of Phil's stature would be able to effectively strike a giant like Harry. Can anyone loan him a stepladder? Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings where Gollum attacked Frodo? Or have you ever seen... Actually, no. I think you're right. It'll be something like from Deadpool where like Harry's Colossus and Deadpool goes to slap him in the face and I just break my whole arm. And then I break the other arm and I'll be like, yeah, everyone fears the T-Rex, and then I'll throw my leg up as well. And then you'd be like, you're coming to see the professor, and I'm like, Stewart or McAvoy. I get confused.
Oh, my word, right? I watched Logan for the first time the other night.
What do you think of it? I cried at the end.
Yeah, man.
It was hitting my heartstrings real bad. But I like how each Wolverine film contradicts the first.
Yeah.
So like the first film, Deadpool, that experiment Deadpool is trying to cut the head off of Wolverine, but then in the second film, you find out the only way to cut adamantium is with like molten adamantium, which is holding the sword with the two hands with a silver samurai and turn it on fire. And so it's like, so if Deadpool tried to cut off Logan's head, it wouldn't have worked. And then in the last one, spoiler alert, by the way, people, tune out right now. The bullet that goes through the clone's head that kills him. Yeah. In the first film, it was just like it just acted like a normal bullet, but it would like kill his brain. He loses memories. It will regenerate back, but it's just a hole through his head. And I'm just like, so is that hole still there, or
didn't he?
What?
Because in Origins, he got shot with it. And
yeah, got shot through the head, and it didn't have the big explosion of what it had in the one that's just gone. It just lost his memories. The brain regenerated, and he should just have a hole through his skull. And I guess it could be molten. I mean, it'll be really hot adamantium bullet, so it could go through the skull. But I don't think it's hot enough to be molten to go through 2 layers of adamantium.
The thing
kind of feel like it's just like a big contradiction, like problem going through this. Is adamantium cuttable or not, and how is it cut, and things like that. So it's like stupid, in my opinion. But I hated the first one, so if we forget about the first one and just look at them two, it's fine. It's completely fine. So
the problem that you've got, right, is there's so many continuity issues in the X-Men universe. Like, for example, at the end of the Wolverine, he has his adamantium claws cut off, and his bone ones grow back. But then in Days of Future Past, which happens after that, he suddenly got his metal claws back again. It's like, how?
I know there's an answer for this. I don't remember. I know this. I know I've like said it, had this question asked, or I've asked it myself, and when I found out, I can't remember. The one that I didn't like though is that the deleted scene in the second film, the Wolverine, where he actually opened up a box from the Chinese lass, and it's the yellow and black Wolverine suit, and then that never showed up ever again. And I was like, no.
That was cool.
I've just like noticed James Jones has sent a message saying, "It's still there."
No one even
that whole game that he should have had like He should have looked like a crazy golf course, man. But yeah, so the next chapter tactics. The next chapter tactics is Black Templars. With you can reroll all field charge rolls to Black Templar units with this tactic. This sort of contradicts, no, not contradicts, sort of like demeanors the Raven Guard a little bit, because they have to go through this Shrike shenanigans and this character with the relics and Warlord trait buff to get their reroll charges. Whereas the Black Templars could just do all that and everyone gets it. They don't need to worry about being in this bubble, but they don't get the away from 12 inches, you have this -1. So I think that this the Black Templars will be better at doing the close combat than Raven Guard, and so they should. You know, the Crusader squads are all about close combat. You know, the Emperor's champion close. Like Black Templars are all about close combat. I was expecting this for Black Templars. This was like the biggest prediction, the most correct prediction, and it's powerful. And I can see it used not only with people getting within 9 inches away, but I can see like biker units or even a Land Raider stuffed full of guys and things like that. So it's like, and it's the same for Raven Guard if you can pull it off with the captains. But they don't have to worry about those auras or those bubbles, which is just that little icing on the cake. I'm expecting there to be like a banner of like extra attacks or other relics that can do that, or something where it can actually help their movement. Maybe give them extra movement, like in the hero phase, like once per battle a unit can move in the hero phase, or like move before the game starts, like a scout or something like that. I can see them being something like that, and really only time can tell, because we had Black Templars Codex and then we lost it, and then they were just really successor chapter really, and then we got them back. So I feel like this is them coming back, and we sort of in the dark with where their future could be. Which will probably be really good for Tom at Black Toad Studios, because he's been doing his I think it's Tom. I always get Tom and Dom the wrong way around. Throw it into the fire, Isildur! I think the Black Templars players don't like it that much because they don't get any bonuses once they're actually in combat. Yeah, I think that might actually come from their relics and stuff like that. I'm thinking of something like a Furious Charge, or maybe something like on a 4 it does a mortal wound, like you see on these like Inceptors or something like that, you know. And I guess sort of Inceptors are probably really good with their fly, and Assault Marines are pretty good with their fly, because they get to reroll their charge and then they get it back out and shoot again, you know. Yeah, +1 strength to reroll ones. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see what could come from the Black Templars. I definitely think Grimaldus will be good. Yeah, and they don't like psychers, so we'll never see a psyker. So actually, yeah, we might see something which can help dispel against units and things like that. That would be pretty interesting, because they don't like psychers. The other, Riplet Angel Furious Charge, Spratimus, I agree. Well, yeah, with the Black Temple thing. Any of you Canny lads played with or against Orcs yet? Yeah, Orcs are pretty good. Just you have to make the right list, in my opinion, and know how to play them well.
I've currently got a video rendering, so it should be up in a couple of hours.
Yeah, Kiblams, the chapter tactics are a little vanilla, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I do see them very vanilla, but I think they were going with something very simple. You know, you think about how the created 8th edition is like a simple army, a simple rule set even. So I think they were going with something simple. And then we'll start to see these like synergies popping up here and there with them. I'm hoping that there's more to it than just relics and warlord traits. I think my cat's just like dropped it. I'll come back. Something just fell and crashed.
No worries. But yeah, I played against Michael's Orcs. Michael's the Orc player that normally appears on the channel. And yeah, he brought a lot of boys to the game. So that's rendering now. It's just over 50% rendered. So it'll probably be online. Yeah, it'll probably be online around about 3 AM by the time it uploads. Kablam says Salamanders have 0 rules for flamers. Yes, unfortunately they do, which does kind of suck. But in the same breath, they've got Master Artisan, which isn't great, but it's all right. I feel they should have been able to take heavy flamers in tactical squads, though, kind of like what Blood Angels can. That would have been nice. Merpeds, man. Oh, honestly, it's a nightmare around here, and because I'm right on a front road, it's not great, but nah. Steve Dunn, is it me or Death Company chaplains disappeared? Yes, they have. Totally disappeared. Can someone just shoot those motorcyclists? It's not even a motorcyclist. It's a chap on a scooter. Scott Wargamer, they have vanilla, but that's what they want for Space Marines. They want any kind of build to be viable for Marines, so they've gone for Salamanders to be the artisans instead of crazy paddles. Yeah, I mean, they were always quite proud and like weaponsmiths, and I think the old rules were like master crafted, weren't they? So the way they've done it is it still kind of works, and I do like it. And to be honest, I regret painting up my Primaris Marines in Blood Angels now. I wish I kind of hung fire and just done them a different chapter, but nah, it's done now, so the rest of them will be painted up as Blood Angels. It would have been nice to have painted up some Raven Guard, I think. Can we purge the Chavez' heretics? Yes, we can. Feel free to come visit and burn. I would not discourage. So, you guys probably can't see that very much because of the silhouette, but yeah. This is a plague furnace for Michael. Michael's been painting up some Skaven, so you'll be nearly 2,000 points. So the next time Michael comes around, we're going to play a game of 40k and Major Sigmar, because he's yet to play Sigmar. So, Kablams, you'll be pleased to know there will be a Skaven game appearing hopefully soon. When I say soon, I mean probably like about 4 weeks' time. By the time I get edited, because my battle reports, I play my games around about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of when you guys see them online. What tactics do you think are next for Space Marines, Blood Angels, or Wolves, etc.? Well, Blood Angels, I would like to see. Reroll charge would be handy, or +1 attack on the charge. I know Khorne demons currently get +1 strength and +1 attack. It's like, give me some of that, like, please. So, Harry, want to use my Fire Slayers for the channel? I would love to, mate, but you're miles away, so I can't. I know Phil's got some of the old Dwarden models. He used them before. And I know the Fire Slayer Stark Lightning box is out, and it's 50 quid, which is cheaper than the Magma Drop. Then you get the Thunderers as well. I'm a bit gutted about the Beast Claw one because I've just bought a box of Mournfangs and a Stonehorn on top of the Icewind Sub. Yeah. Yes, Phil.
The Magma Drop's been reduced to 50.
Right.
And if you buy it in store, you get the Volkite box with it as well.
You get what?
The Volkite Berserker box with it as well.
All right. Ali's offering to send these Fire Slayers to us to use for a bit, Phil.
Fire Slayers. I was looking into probably doing them, but I don't know whether I will.
If we want to do a couple of bat reps with them.
Sure. I'm just a bit worried about if we break some of them or something like that. You know, it's a bit of a danger.
Well, if we did that, it's on Phil because, like I said, you've got the normal dwarves, you've got the Caradrins. Yeah. You could do a dwarf themed army.
Yeah, I could. I won't, but I could.
You won't, but you could.
Yeah, because that'll be a very large point game.
Spratimus says, Harry, do you get over the Northwest? Please define the Northwest, because North for a lot of people is Nottingham, which is not.
So with the chapter tactics, the next one is Iron Hands. which is just,
pretty much the box standard.
yeah, 6 up, feel no pain essentially. So if you suffer a wound, oh wait, hold on a minute, let's read it.
Whoa. That wargame says Geordies can't find their way out of Geordie land, Spratimus. Good job I'm not a Geordie then, isn't it?
Yeah, good job we're not a Geordie. Roll a dice each time an Iron Hands model with this tactic loses a wound. On a 6, the damage is ignored and the model does not lose a wound. So it's just 6 up, feel no pain. I'm going to retract my earlier statement of knowing that the Black Templar stuff was definitely going to be reroll charges. This one was definitely going to happen for here. Then the thing that you've lost in the previous one is like it will not die on vehicles, which I'm assuming is probably come from Techmarines and probably characters and relics. I don't know whether they'll probably come there because I think vehicles can only be repaired once now on most things.
Once per turn.
Once per turn, yeah, they're going to be repaired once in a turn.
Cole can repair an AdMech unit, but if he repairs an AdMech unit, another model that has that repair facility can't repair the same model. Basically, the model can only be subject to that rule once.
Yeah. So it's interesting. But I don't know what could come out of Iron Hands, because when I'm thinking of Iron Hands, honestly, I'm thinking of a lot more of Iron Warriors stuff where they're all about vehicles and that. So with Iron Hands, I see them synergizing with vehicles. And honestly, to say that maybe even if they took transports, there might be some benefits for transporting people around. And there might be benefits around that, but I just don't know what I can expect from Iron Hands, to be honest.
Oh, wait there. So James Jones saying, aye, they are in the real north. That wargamer says you could have fooled me, Harry. Believe me, right, if there was a Mackham sat next to me, the accent difference is, it's actually quite big.
Why I'm the one, if I'm a little underground bunker?
What's it soon about?
I'm going to go down to Dune. I've come to eat your babies.
Ali says that they are Mackhams, or however it's spelled. Yes, spelled correctly. I'd love Iron Warriors to get +1 ballistic skill against vehicles or buildings or something.
Yeah, I guess I could probably work. I mean, it's going all the way back down to what can the characters and relics and the Wolotrids can do, basically. The last one is probably rivaling the Raven Guard in whether or not it's at the top or not, which is the White Scars one, which is whenever a White Scars unit advances or turbo boosts, they get +2 inches to their move. So bikes can turbo boost 8 inches, and when you run an extra 2 inches to your dice roll. And in addition, so, you know, generally I would have thought that would have been it, you know? That would have been it for White Scars. But in addition, White Scars units with this tactic can still charge in a turn in which they fell back. Which is
can't shoot.
Well, you know, can't shoot. But it was huge. I think it was like a 6th edition army of White Scars that I saw, which had all of its, like, had loads of White Scar units, and they were like plasma guns and melter guns. And the leader would have a power fist because they would still want to try and get them in combat. I can see White Scars because they're all about Hammerrath, and I don't think Hammerrath is there anymore. So I guess they're trying to show back this Hammerrath by bringing this ball back and still can charge again. Normally, a White Scars army is all about bikes. So when looking at a bike, in your standard war gear, do you get a chainsaw?
No.
No. Can you buy a chainsaw?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna check it. I wanna be sure here, because if you can't equip out your normal dudes with close combat weapons, it's not that big of a deal. No. Like look at Deathwatch, where they come with chainswords and they can upgrade to like power weapons. Let's see. Well, they come with close combat weapon. I wouldn't say it was. Now the chainsword's actually got rules. It's not really a chainsword, but Assault Squad.
Thomas Wall says, I'm from Essex. There is no Northwest. You're all Northerners to us. Keep up the good work, guys. Cheers. Also, Reese says, Pit Yakkers last time I checked. Yes, Reese, technically we are Pit Yakkers. Most people outside of the Northeast have no idea what a Pit Yakker is.
Yeah.
So
any Space Marine biker will replace his bolt pistol with a chainsword. up to 2 stationary barracks from the pistol, both pistol with an item for the special weapons list. So you can do 2 of them with special weapons, the rest with chain swords, and then your sergeant gets something from a sergeant equipment list. So something like a special weapon, like a power fist or a hammer or a lightning claw. I can see it working. Whether or not people will go larger than 3-man units is yet to be seen. Like I don't know. It really depends on how people.
I'll probably run 5-man squads because you want the 2 special weapons, the sergeant, and then you don't want one of them 3 dead first. I would take 2 as collateral.
Yeah, and I'm thinking more of the lines of this is probably good for assault marines, and you'll probably start seeing a lot more submarine White Scars armies because they've got pistols, so they can get into combat. They get 9 inches away. Because of their jumping in, they're 9 inches away, so they could get a first turn charge. If they get that first turn charge, not only can they fall back, and because they got fly shoot, but now they can also charge. And then if they don't want to fall back, they've got pistols, so the pistols can still put the hurt in, and it's like, okay, that's pretty good. And I think it's quite tight because White Scars is a bike army, and it seems more favorable to like jump units for the White Scars. So it's like quite a difference and quite a jump in terms of what the army will go to. So that's very interesting in my opinion.
I think Templars would be very, very good with Terminators.
Yeah, White Scar Inceptors jump out, shoot, and then charge again. Yeah, the normal ones right now with the heavy bolt is it's got a lot of shots and -1, and it can really work. We've seen pictures of a picture with them with plasma on them as well, which is even bigger. So yeah, I can totally see White Scar armies turn into like assault marines and scepters and stuff like that, and maybe adding in the bikes here and there, but the bikes aren't that big a deal in my opinion. Unless, I have to go back and look at that. I'm going to check to see if they can get melt the bomb still. But yeah, if they even get melt the bomb still, then it's still going to be something like, why would you want to retreat from the vehicle and charge it again if you can't shoot with them at the bikes? No, no, they can't get metal bombs. I don't think. Don't even think metal bombs exist anymore, do they?
Yeah, they do because they changed them so that you can reroll the wound against vehicles because it was FAQ.
I don't know, but
two seconds, Phil. Sprite, sorry, I forgot to answer you earlier. I got sidetracked with the locations and stuff. You asked, do I ever get over to Cumbria? Unfortunately, not. It's the wrong direction for everywhere that I go. Nothing against Cumbria. I know there's a gaming club that way. I'm actually a member of Cumbria Wargamers Club, but I don't get up there because it's too far. I know it sounds daft, right? But it's the other side of the country. The sea is there. Like, that is the sea there. Me and Phil live Phil not.
I live a 20-minute walk from the sea.
Not even that. And I run the beach banks when I finish work. I go for a run like there, along the beach banks. So I know that it doesn't seem it, but Cumbria is actually still quite a distance, but it's west rather than south.
Someone's just mentioned their command squads. Yeah, so command squads can get like storm shields and power swords and other stuff and things like that. And I think they'll get the special weapons in. Because I don't believe other people's assault marines can buy melter guns and plasma guns. I think it's only blood.
I can't.
Yeah. So I think if you want to get your melter guns in there, and you want to get a couple more attacks in combat. Like, look at a Tau army; it's going to work really well there, and they want to retreat, so it's going to be pretty interesting. But I think they've got potential to be better than Raven Guard, but we don't know. I mean, all honesty, they'll probably get into that charging pretty quickly. Maybe even as quick as Raven Guard, but I think Raven Guard's got a better chance. And then they can still fall back in combat, but the Raven Guard can't because they don't have that. So I think long run combat assault marines is going to go to the White Scars, but short run it's going to go to the Raven Guard. But the Raven Guard have the stratagem for the holding dudes in reserve and pull them in, and got them -1, 12 inches. And the White Scars have just got this mobility buff to them. So I think White Scars, Ultramarines, and Raven Guard are at the top right now. I think it probably goes Raven Guard, White Scars, Ultramarines, and then the rest are sort of random, going out throughout the bottom, trying to figure out which one's the better one. Because I honestly don't think the Iron Hands is that big of a deal. And I actually think they might. I think they're the second worst. I think Imperial Fists have got it the worst because there weren't really anything to do with cover before, but now they've got this ignore cover and they've still got the building thing. So this ignore cover thing is a bit weird for them. So I'm hoping something to do with bolters comes back, and I hope their stratagem maybe something to do with bolters. I think maybe something like
what you said earlier. If they stand still, the bolters become rapid too. Would have been brilliant.
Yeah, it would have been really powerful for them. I also think the Salamanders should have had, like, because in Heresy you can mastercraft power a weapon on a character for 5 points, and I feel like if they could have had like sergeants, all their weapons can be mastercrafted where they can reroll 1 hit roll. But I guess they sort of have that because it's reroll 1 hit roll and 1 wound roll per phase for the unit. That's sort of better. But maybe if they just had that for the sergeant and then you got something for the rest of the squad, it could have been a lot of things they could have done. And I just think it's plain and barren right now because the relics and warlord traits are better, and even stratagems. I don't even know whether it's only going to be 1 stratagem. It could be loads of stratagems. It could be like 6 or something. And then we don't even know whether they might get their own disciplines, their own psychic disciplines yet. Like how the Blood Angels have the Sanguinary and the Space Wolves have the Tempestus. And I think that would be really interesting if they got their own disciplines, Harry. It'll make them more unique from each other, which would be pretty cool. And then when I'm thinking about all these, Harry, how do you think some of the Primaris stuff could fit into these armies?
I think
the one that fits well is Inceptors.
Yeah. A Hellblaster, rerolling the wound to hit and wound is pretty good still.
Raven Guard, you can spend 3 command points to put a unit 9 inches away. You could put your Hellblasters 9 inches away.
Right, 2 seconds. Ali Bongo says, cover doesn't mean anything. If cover changes, then it will work. Agreed. That's for the fists. Mikey says, if only you didn't live so far away. Mate, I agree. There's nobody here. James Jones says, cover seems good when mixed with -1 to hit. Yeah, kind of. Spratimus says, I live 2 minutes from the other sea. Whereabouts are you from? Is it like Blackpool way, or is it like further north, like past Kendal North? And that Wargamer says, is it on pre-order next week? Next week,
this Saturday it's on pre-order.
2 days' time is Aggressors, Reavers, the Dreadnought, Spaceman Codex, and the cards.
I think next week's probably going to be the Repulsor tank and another vehicle, right? Or the Chaplain and Apothecary.
It'll be the Interceptors, the Chaplain, the Apothecary, and the Repulsor. Possibly a single box of Intercessors or what's the other one? Hellblasters.
Hellblasters, yeah. I mean, they've got a lot for the Primaris, so you could just do a Primaris army. I think the Aggressors are going to work well for Salamanders and Ultramarines, maybe even Imperial Fists as well. I think Inceptors work well for Raven Guard and White Scars, and maybe even no, I don't think they work well with Black Templars. There's no close combat units for the Primaris stuff.
I've been seeing for ages since when you first saw the Interceptors.
The closest to
swords or something.
Yeah, the closest to close combat units they have is like the captain with like the power sword and fist, or the librarian, or the lieutenant with the power sword. It's like that's the closest. I'm gonna come over there, Harry, and you're gonna get an ass that looks like the Japanese flag, this big white thing with a red hole.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, that's right. So I think what they're missing real hard for the Primaris is close combat units. Where the frack are they? Like, they should be here. Like, I didn't expect the Aggressors to be these, shooty units. I think, well, they've got power fists, so I guess there might be a little bit close combat, but I'm expecting them to
the Aggressors look naff though, and I totally agree. I like the Gravis armor, But
Hey, Black Toad Studios! Hey!
the way that they've done them doesn't look right.
It to me, if you look at the picture, the aggressors and the chaplain looks like the Gravis armor captain, but with the Rosarius and skulls and bones on him. It looks almost identical to him, except that there's a different chest piece, different head, a different weapon. So in my opinion, he might be a multi-kit for that. Then the apothecary looks like it's just like a normal marine with like mechanical arms coming out of it. So I think they might be two separate boxes completely. But the chaplain could be
Blackwood Studios said also Chaos Taint would work. I'm going to assume that is Dom and not Tom, because Tom, being a Black Templar player, would never have Chaos Taint, would he?
Yeah, the aggressors also look like this Gravis armor, and this Gravis armor looks like shit.
It is Gravis armor.
Yeah, it looks like shit. Like, I don't like it. There's too many components. I think it's suffered the same thing that what Transformers has, where it's got all these two intricate bits all over the dude, and it looks sort of cool, but then it just looks like you just went over the top.
My thing is the legs in the middle model on the box art are fucked.
Yeah,
yes,
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I just think the Gravis armor stuff looks terrible. The captain doesn't look too bad, but the Gravis armor stuff looks really bad. I'm starting, when I first saw the Inceptors, I didn't like them. When I've seen Harry's 6, like in the 3s, I don't like them, but I saw them with the 6 and I like them. I like the sort of composure there. So I'm starting to like them, but I think they've got too many flaps, and then they've got on those like really awful stands. And trust me, I should know the Caradons have these fucking awful as crap stands that make the model so imbalanced that I have to spend just enough work building and painting the model as I have to find a way to balance them on the base. Yes. I saw someone, which is Leonard Dime, who is put these like sort of leafless trees on his base to balance them out on either side, and it's like I'm just trapping my vehicle in between two bits of wood on my base, and it's annoying because you should have seen this coming. The way other people do it, they put they drilled a hole in the actual little stand and put a pin in it, and they put the pin up so the pin keeps it steady. But it's like that seems too feeble and too weak, and it's just so terrible. Dom has said that chaos is the way forward. Tom will convert over to the eightfold path. And then that wargamer said, never like Gravis armor, especially his pot belly. Totally agree. I don't like the look of it. I saw a lot of people hate the look of the Reavers because of their trousers. Like waist above looks great, but waist down looks awful. And I had a look at the model because Harry was building one of the Reavers today, and I had a look at the model closer. And someone said that it looked like it had shorts. I can sort of see where you're going with, but it kind of just looks like a thigh high belt. Like there's some sort of, like it's supposed to be like a garter belt or something like that. It's not garter belt, like a top of like I don't know, it's not tights or something. Why is it like something like that? It doesn't look right, but it looks okay. It doesn't look like shorts to me. I like them because of the skull face. The skull face looks cool as out, and the fact that they've got grapple hooks, that is pure awesome. That is just mentally awesome.
Then
a friend still. I'm disappointed that they haven't done it in Cesar Squad. Was hoping they'd get weapon options and maybe a combat variant. Death Guard, on the other hand, is amazing models. I do like the look of the Death Guard models. I can't wait until they're released. Probably in, I think it'll be like a month time. It'll be 6 weeks time from like the Codex release, because we've got Glory Knights next, and then we've got Chaos Space Marines, and then we've got Death Guard. So,
do you think when they do the Death Guard, they'll release a load of Nurgle stuff to coincide with the General's Handbook 2017 into sigmar, much like what they did with the Zinch release in January?
I definitely think so. Right, as of right now, there's no rules for Kurgath Plaguefather, which is the named Great Unclean One. That hit me hard because that's really was going to be my Glot King, and then my Maggot Lords were going to be my Great Unclean Ones. And I was really disappointed that I didn't have rules, because I was really looking forward to his rules with like the Nurglings. So this was really interesting, and I sort of feel they're saving them for something else. And I think the way Death Guard's going to get released is, we'll definitely have Mortarion, and we've already seen pictures of some Death Shroud Terminators, if they're going to be called Death Shroud Terminators anymore. And there's like one with like a hood and like a smile, like, and then he's got kind of like this like heavy weapon on his arm. So I definitely think there's going to be Terminators. Of course, there's going to be Plague Marines. Of course, there's going to be Poxwalker boxes. I could totally see the putrid Fortid blown or whatever the drone thing getting a box. And then of course we've got pictures of the like artillery vehicle that it's got as well. Which has got like the Sakaran Horus Heresy las cannons on the side. So I see a lot of the sort of heresy stuff for them coming through. And then I see that's sort of the time when they're going to release the Death Guard in the Horus Heresy that they're in their book and that, and as well. And then after the sort of like a 2-week window of that, I see a 2-week window of demons, of Nurgle demons getting an update. And well, not just Nurgle demons in a sense. If they do a single book for Nurgle demons, like maybe if they do it all in one book, like Death Guard with like Nurgle demons in there, that might be a way to do it. And then they have the Nurgle demons for the Age of Sigmar side. But with them focusing really heavily on 40k, I feel like there won't be anything with Age of Sigmar. And that's pretty sad. But I feel like they'll have something there. But I feel like their schedule's so jam-packed with 40k that if any releases come out for Sigmar that might not be that big or that, hyped about. And that's,
well, I mean, look at the Path to Glory book. That's out this weekend, and like nobody's even looked at it.
I really like the idea of Path to Glory, but you need to have a very large force for it because it's so random. Say if
I was going to do
and it asked me to do loads of Sky Wardens, and I just didn't have the models to do loads of Sky Wardens. There's all this rerolling coming in, and it's going to end up like an army anyway. So it depends. Maybe that's the fun of the campaign. Like before today, with my 3 games of Skirmish, I didn't really like Skirmish, and I had a few games before. Now I quite like it. It's very enjoyable. So maybe something like that. I think the other thing is these Dark Lightning boxes were hyped at first, but aren't a big deal. Like, I was going to get the Slaanesh box, but I don't like right now, I have to roll a patrol detachment for my Slaanesh because I can't fit them in anywhere. And if I do, I've messed up my troops pretty well because I want them in these big, large squads. So it's a bit weird. I don't like the Slaanesh one. The Beastclaw one I might get just to finish off my Fantasy Ogres, but considering I never play Fantasy, it's like, do I want it? And then it's like Fire Slayers is a whole new army, and I don't want to get into them. So
I really want another one because I want one more Thunder Tusk.
Spoke to the guys who designed them. They literally put weeks into each of the models for Nurgle. Nurgle Terminators will be released, yeah. The problem I have with Chaos is that I only ever like the Marines or the Demons, never both. I agree. I've had a lot of problems with making Chaos Space Marine armies, and I messed up so badly over which armies to go with and things like that. So I'm kind of just focused on the Demons for now. For each specific god. Boys got to go. Take it easy. See you later, Black Toad Studios. See you later, Dom. Have a good time. You can roll to see what you get, then go out buy paints. Are good for part-time hobbies, yeah. Phil, they fixed Path to Glory, so all you need for Path to Glory is a start collecting box. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. That should be pretty cool to see. The next thing I have to admit about Nurgle, like the release, is that I think the armies that are good now are probably the last ones to get army codexes because they're really good now and they want to try and keep it balanced as much as they can. This probably isn't true because I didn't expect. Well, I expected them to do Space Marines first because of the Primaris release, but Grey Knights to come straight after was a bit like, wow, that's pretty good. Grey Knights. And Space Marine, because I thought it was going to be like Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, and then Eldar. But then it's Grey Knights.
Gav Thorpe tweeted about it, saying, "Oh, that Yunari army that you've got, yeah, you might want to buy more for later in the summer." Mm. And I know he said someone else made a comment about Iandan army. Mm. So they are teasing bits and pieces, which is nice because everything used to be so secretive before.
Mm. I definitely think, like, what could be next after the Death Guard is, I would say, Chaos Demons and like sort of the Aldari factions, and then after that, it's got to be something like Necrons, Tau, or like a Tyranid and Orcs. Like I could totally see them doing like a Tau and Tyranid sort of section, and then doing like an Orc and Necron section, or probably do like an Orc and Guard section and leave the Necrons for something else. But I feel like Necrons and Tau need it before the others. And with the Necrons start coming into the space near Mondka, it might be an interesting time to do a campaign. It might be the first campaign. Obviously, Konar's starting. Konar, the fate of Konar starting next week as well.
I haven't even had time to look into that.
Yeah, I think it's the 23rd it starts. So fate of Konar might be pretty cool to see. Let's check this chat. I love to see some new units for Tyranids, something like an apothecary that floats around healing monsters. Warg needs to be soon. Yes. For Tyranids, I want them to bring out some plastic shrikes. I want them to bring back the Parasite and Morbidex. I want them to bring back like callbacks, blitterers or something like that. Oh, I'm gonna have to look these up now. I've probably got the name wrong. Got the name wrong. I'm gonna have to look these up pretty quickly. Let's try and scour for them. Basically, the Rippers, but with these really thin needle-like legs that go into like the ears, nose, and eyes of a victim and takes control of them.
That sounds gruesome.
Yeah, and there's actual like pictures and fluff of them out there. I'm gonna have a look at all these. I'm scouring my photos right now for it. I can't remember the flipping name of them, man. It's like Korax. Oh, the GW has been doing all these mustering for Konar stuff, and they revealed Rob from who does like the live game and Rob's Tyranid army, and I was like, wow, that's like a really powerful army that he's bringing, which is 5 Exocrines, 3 Termagants, and 80 Termagants, and I was like, bloody hell, like it was. Like, just the thought of 5 Exocrines alone is terrifying. But having these Termagant castle walls that will hardly ever die because of your Tervagon is just so brutal and scary. But he also said that, like, after he's got this army done, he's gonna like start switching things out and adding other things to create more flavor to it, which is pretty awesome. But bloody hell, if 5 Exocrines isn't something to be worried about or crazy about, then I don't know what would be. I can't find this, and I'm really struggle for the name.
Someone said Doom of Valentine.
Anything in ages. I'm so not ready for Konar. Yes, fill plastic shrikes, older one eye, and a new character. Bring back the Super Zoanthrope, Doom of Valentine. You're on about there, mate. Big box or Ripper thing you can buy in different options. Doom of Valentine, Ali, old one I exist in the effects kit. I'm painting mine now. I want to see my gargantuan monstrous creature. I want to see plastic biovores. I want to see plastic pyrovores.
Pyrovore is a must. I think a lot of people need them. And I would love to see a proper gargantuan. Obviously not the Forge World stuff. The Forge World stuff's nice, but I would like to see a dominatrix or something new.
I want to see a big, like, you can see the bones of the skin, bat-like creature, like a really thin, giant gargoyle. That would look cool. Or a giant, like, snake-like creature being like a giant version of the Trigon or something like that.
Yeah.
Cortex Leech, that's the name of it. I'll send you the picture, Harry, as well. It looks pretty damn cool.
I need to make the thumbnail for tonight's video as well. So I'm going to send you a picture, Phil, when I find...
Oh, picture! Tony said I'm looking good.
Tony did?
Yeah. In a private message.
Ah.
Good, Phil.
This is the kind of thing you and Tony talk about, like?
What? Yeah, I sent you the picture of the Cortex Leech.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it looks crazy. I think it's Morbidex or something like that. Schism.
Someone's already done Parasite. Yeah, it's there. I can't see it.
Rival a Knight. Yeah, I actually think that the horror specs can rival a Knight, but the bad thing about a horror specs is that you could have it as an exocrine, and when you look at sort of the DPS of an exocrine compared to a horror specs, and the horror specs being more points than an exocrine, you're starting to look at that the horror specs is not worth it. Turn one, don't move your exocrine, and you're getting like 12 shots per turn at strength 7, hit on 3s, -3 for 2 damage. And the horror specs can either walk up the field with hoping that a swarm lord can help them. If you've got a swarm on there, you've only got like 500 points already. Or you can grab like 170 or something like that points to put a pod there from the hotgun and get out and hopefully make the 9-inch charge. And when you're looking at that, you're adding more points onto it to make it worth it. And it's like, is it going to put out the same DPS per unit? Because it's only going to be able to kill 1 unit in combat unless it multi-charges, which is a bigger danger because of Overwatch. So the horror specs, in my opinion, because you can, for the same cost in the same kit, you can get an exocrine, is not worth it. If you really want to take a horror specs, then yeah, sure, take a horror specs. You know, it's good. It's really good. But when you can have an exocrine for the equal amount of the horror specs, it's not worth it at all in sort of equal in sort of terms. Like you could totally do a pod horror spec swarm load, and then you guaranteed have your horror specs in combat, but you spend about 300 points in your pods, 300 points in your horror specs, and about 300 points in your swarm load. And for that same price, you could have 4, 5, maybe even squeeze in a 6th one, I think. I'm not too sure on points there. And of exocrines, and that's a lot more shots getting their damage off on turn 1 without being in risk of combat or Overwatch. So it's like, you know, is it really worth it for horror specs? So I definitely think there needs to be something, but the swarm lord can effectively take out a knight in 1 turn if it can get there and get some nice rolls. Because giving it the warlord trait with the extra attack, so it's got like these crap ton of attacks that are doing d6 damage apiece, with leaving the knight on a 6-up save as well in combat, is pretty good, and it can kill it. It can even reduce it down to so many wounds where you have something else charging with it. Like I also think Old One Eye is amazing because of if he hits with an attack, you would get another attack to hit with. So he's pretty good, and you know, just having them two together, for example, going against a knight just takes down a knight, you know, 1 by 1, and having the Tyrant Guard nearby the Swarm Lord so that the Swarm Lord can soak up all these wounds is just more powerful. It's just really more powerful, and it could work so well. I think there's not a lot you can add to Tyranids, but seeing some new Tyranids or even some new kits might be better, or maybe some new weapons. Like I feel like they need to update the Hive Tyrant kit to give it these Death Spitters with Slammer Maggots, or these Brain Leech Worms, Death Spitters, Devourers, you know. And I think it needs to be updated. It doesn't need to be, but that's something they can do. And there's not many other things I think they can get in there other than like Shrikes and like these characters. Seeing another big monster means we're full up on these monsters, and I kind of feel like we should see another Gaunt-like creature. And I also think that with the Spore Assist, it's got something called a Spore Node or Synapse Node, where if it's within Synapse range, it becomes Synapse itself. So I feel like you could do something with like a Pyrovore and making it like a Psychovore or a Synapse Spore or something like that, where it's these like nodes of like Synapse here and there. And it's just these little things that could make these Tyranids, but right now they're sitting pretty. So I just don't know what they could bring for Tyranids other than their high fleet stuff. So I would be fine if the Tyranids just had a 1-week Codex release. And I can't believe I just said that, which is terrifying.
Who said I want the Stonecrusher Carnifex, 100 points of good and D6 damage platforms. Totally agree. When me and Phil saw that Stonecrusher Carnifex, I was like, holy hell, I want 3.
Yeah, like I say, Wargamer, yeah, there's a lot of synergies that work well with Tyranids. And I'm hoping, I know there's been a lot of hate going around about people who are saying this is now a spam game, and you know, spam is the way to win, and if you can't spam, then there's no point you playing the game. And I feel like that'll go once more codexes come out, because I feel like synergy is the way forward, that they're going to create like Sigmar relies so much on synergy through characters and units that it felt like War Machine, because War Machine relied on a lot of synergy, and getting this synergy makes you feel like everything in your army is part of this one greater cause. And that's like awesome. You know, you actually feel like you've got this huge force that's doing its job and got this purpose, rather than this unit's got its purpose and this unit's a distraction and this unit's just because I like it. And when you can think about synergies and other stuff that can work into your army, you get these benefits and you get this sort of like reward feeling of getting the synergy off. Like if with me, when I get this sort of, I'm looking through synergies in here, and if I can pull them off, I absolutely love it. When I pulled off the Malanthrope reroll ones, I was like ecstatic because that was so hard to do. So, and I think people already started doing it with like Gulliman, and so I make these like aggressor bubbles, and Harry with his call bubble of his Dune crawlers, for example.
That's not even the worst one.
That's not even the worst one, yeah. And these little synergy things are pretty nice, and they're sort of replacing the Death Stars, and they're easier to take down than a Death Star. So I think that's what 40k will turn into. Only super competitive. You can have a good list that isn't spam, and the game's enjoyable. Then, yeah, I understand it. You know, you can have a list that can spam and it can be enjoyable. Like, Jacob does his Raptors and Warp Talons all over the place in his Night Lords list, and that's an enjoyable. I always have enjoyable games with Jacob, but that's an enjoyable list. You got other ones like I'm making a Fashka converted army where it's just battle wagons which are made out of the boats from the overlords, and then loads of flash gets in, and that's will be classed as spam, but it's not done maliciously. It's done because it's like a pirate themed army, and it's like you can have fun with it, but a lot of people are bringing like this toxicity to spam and stuff that it's like you don't want to bring loads of flyers even though you love flyers, or you don't want to bring loads of Terminators because you love Terminators. People just go, oh my goodness, you just spammed that, and that's what you did. And I think it's sort of been given a bad name when it shouldn't have a bad name. But people who purposely do it, like some of the tournament games that have been won, are done with like loads of Storm Ravens and Gulliman, and it's like, you know, that doesn't seem right. Like if you're doing a whole Air Force, you know, that sounds cool, but you're doing it just to get around Gulliman, just so you can give all these rerolls, and it doesn't seem very interesting. It seems like you're just doing that because you wanted to win, and I think you need to find this difference. Looters for the win. It's a themed army like 3 Hellbrutes is spam, but it's not stupid. Can't wait to see your Fashkits army. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a long time. Not too long, though, I'm guessing, because I'm focusing on my Caradons right now, and the next closest thing to being done will be like Death Watch, because they're all sprayed, and the Corvus is almost done, which Harry kindly broke the other week. And
I think you left it on top of your case, piled up on a table, which was arse height that I backed into.
Yeah, but if you imagine your arse height to a table with a model, either way, the Death Watch are closest to being done. And then once I get my Dreadnought stripped, they'll be the next one done. And I think Caradons, Death Watch, Lamenters, Flash kits. I've already got 10 Flash kits, so and a frigate to go with them as well. So it's like,
what about your Nurgle? Like, because you've been doing your Great and Clean one, and you're
the Great and Clean one's done. My 3 Plague Drones are done. My Nurglings are all washed. My Herald's all washed. I need to wash all those Plague Bearers and then do all the bases for the Plague Bearers, Nurglings, and Herald. And I've got my 1K force done. That's it. So they're quite close as well. They're a lot closer than other things, actually. These Zinch reinforcements are probably the next thing, actually. I'm finishing off basing 10 more Blue Horrors and 10 more Brimstones, and I've got another 20 and 20, and then I'm doing 15 Screamers, and that'll be a very good reinforcement in my Zinch. So there's a lot of different projects going around, but a lot of them are like little quick things. So the Plague Bearers, I just need to do 2 washes of Atmos Camouflage on them, and then base them, and then I just need to do little details here and there on all of them. The Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors is like a dry brush from the blues, the flames on the blues, the daggers on the blues, the orange and red on the brims, which is done at the same time as the flames and blues, and then the bases of them. So they're quite quick. I got 20 of them done in a night. So I never feel I can do them quickly. And then the Screamers are a wash of the blue shade, and a certain area wash from null oil, 3 different types of dry brushes, the eyes and the horns, and then just the bases. So they're also pretty quick too. So I might bosh out the Nurgle and Zinch over the next coming weeks, and then bosh out the Caridans. The Caridans are going to be a long one because they are really tiring to do. But I'm already coming up with the next converted army idea as well, which Jacob gave me a really good idea for. Tournaments are starting to look at 1 detachment only. Yeah. 1 detachment only doesn't penalize me at all. I take a brigade with my Tyranids, and I can do that in 1,000 points. So come at me.
Big fan schools just put their Kabam's pain engine spam list. It's fun to play against. It's themed, and he only has Coven units in the list anyway. It is fun. Me and Liam played Coven versus Wraith the other day, and it was fun. But our dice were both horrendous to both of us.
It was a fun game though, and both of us expected it to be fun.
Yeah.
But because I'm getting so many frigates with the Caridans, I'm not going to be putting these balls on the top here. I'm going to have like a pole going up with like a sort of like paper sail on it, and from those balls, I'm going to put like legs on them and make tripods for my Admech. So I'm going to do a tripod Mars War of the Worlds Admech army, and the small ones, which are sort of this big, are going to be my little electro priests. So I'm going to try and do tripods for them, and then like another arm coming out the front to be sort of the staff, or 2 arms for the little pistol, the hand pistol things. The next biggest one, which is still on the frigate is this one, which is probably going to be my Castellan robots, which I'll be able to make a good conversion there from tripods. And then I'll also, because I'll still have loads of these ones. These might also turn into the infiltrators and ruststalkers. Then the Sky Wardens are sort of less this size, which is smaller than that one, which could be the data priests, and can also be things like Vanguard and Rangers if I want to put them in. Maybe even use one of them or one of these to make my tech priest. Then the Ironclad has this small one in the front, which will probably be used for the same sort of purposes. But then I've got this big one, which will be used as the Dune Crawler, which could be the tripod for the Dune Crawler, this big one. But this is Ironclad one as well. So that big one could be used for the Dune Crawler. But then I'm also looking at the fact of maybe doing some like 2 small ones together, or something along those sort of lines. Maybe going back to sort of the medium-sized one here to create the sort of chicken walkers or the destroyers and stuff like that. And then that's like a tripod Mars War of the Worlds army. And I think it's a great idea. I saw some pictures of it. Jacob showed me some pictures of it. And he was planning on he might do some of them as well for his Dark Mechanicum. And I like the idea, and I'm going to have loads of spare ones anyway. So I think I could be able to do the Flash Kits and Admech tripod of Mars army at the same time.
Bill?
Yeah?
Now that you've come up for air, when the hell are you going to have time to do all of that?
Exactly. I feel like I can do the Nurgle over a couple of days, and maybe another couple of days off, like 5 days from that for the Zinch. The Death Watch is more of the lines of dry brushing, then silver and gold washes, and then the shoulder pads, and then a little bit details here and there. So they're probably a week project if I just storm through them. Like, I've got nothing to do for the rest of August, essentially. So if I just storm through them, I can get them done. The only one that's going to slow me down is the Caradan Overlords. So you're looking at probably the end of summer, the Nurgle will be done, the Zinch will be done, and the Death Watch will be done. And that's a very large prediction now. I'm not a Harry. And then September is probably the convert, like September, October, November sort of time is sort of the Fashkits and converted army and the tripods of Mars converted army. So that's kind of like my year's worth of stuff. And then I've got Fit Lamenters in there somewhere. So it's all my projects for a long while.
I need to actually crack on with some of my armies and stuff because I've done like next to nothing painting wise for me that I wanted to do this month. I've just been so busy. Like college is finished now, which is great. So I've got, an extra night free a week. I need to finish off these few elves. Got this plague furnace to do. But then I'm going to smash through the tower because most of the tower's done. I just need to do the blues and silvers, and I'm done. And some
Big Mac dance school. When you see you need to go back to Deathwatch to do the edge highlighting, which drove you insane. It drove me insane, so I'm going to dry brushing instead. I don't give a damn. I'd rather do dry brushing and get that because I can't paint black. I can paint white. I can paint yellow. I can't do black. I can do yellow and white in my opinion pretty well, but I can't do black. And it's been a great challenge to do my Artemis and then do my Corvus, but they're coming out really nicely. So I'm really liking it. I think that's all my projects. So, yeah, I've got a few bits and bobs for my Tyranids to do, but I'm kind of set on a list that's fully painted right now, so doing them is only really to do them. There's a lot of Gene Steel Cult stuff I need to do, but I don't have any passion for Gene Steel Cult right now, so. Yeah, I understand, Stephen. Don't try to do things that do my fancy. I'm quite into Lamenters right now, so I might get that Liberian Dreadnought done so I know my scheme. Harry's going to be stripping my other Dreadnoughts for me. So whilst I'm waiting for that, I'm feeling Caradons right now, so I might do some Caradons Overlords. But getting those horrors out the way is probably something I really want to do. Tell me about paint white. No matter how many tutorials I watch, I can't do white. The way I do white.
Let me show you the white force scale. So,
here we go.
This is airbrush, okay? Now, I started by using intermediate blue, which is quite a dark grey blue, as you can see under there. From the side, I then hit it with wolf grey. And then from the top, kind of top side, I used... No, that was the wolf grey from the top. I used intermediate blue, wolf grey from the sides and top, and then white from the top down. And then all the gaps are just washed in with Milne oil.
Yeah. The way I do it, so I found that the white spray is pretty good. Just like normal white, spray them and then do recess washes of the no oil or Agarax, whichever you fancy. And then just taking a white Scott to it and like touching it up if you go like a bit too thick. Other ones I've done is painted them like a really light grey and then gradually dry brushed up to white to get it. And it turns out fine. And then everyone says, oh, white takes so forever to do it. I think what they're doing is multiple layers of white over a different sort of coat. I feel like if you want to do that, you want to paint Mechanica Standard Grey is probably the best one you want to do. But then I think that's about it because the white's been fine for me. The only problem I've had with white is doing red over white, which made me have to do a multiple thin coats of it. I mean, and I'm starting to sound like Duncan here, so... what's your main base color after primer for death? Do you airbrush or not? No, I don't. Harry does. Yeah, I tried dry brushing, but I wasn't satisfied. I'm an idiot for it, but I figured if I do it bit by bit over time, it won't be so bad. Super dry brush and do 2 coats of it, but seriously, dry should work for it at Big Mac Dance School. Oh, thanks. Gonna try that on some white scars. You doing any more tutorials in the future, Harry? Love the Liberian vid.
When I've got time, mate, basically.
I mean, I could, if people really want to see a Caradon Overlord's paint scheme, I could do it, but it's exactly like the one from Duncan. So, not really helpful there. I could, I don't know what other ones I could do tutorials on for my own.
I've got loads of crap to paint that I could just do. I know what I can do. A lot of people asked about the bases on my beast claws. I could do a basing tutorial for that.
Have you got another beast claw thing to do?
Yes, 3 Yetis.
Hey, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna bring the camera like this.
I'm really tired of that. I've painted for 3.5 hours straight.
Gonna have to rate my Vallejo paint to see what I have. Yeah, but your voice is silkier than Duncan's, Phil. I'm gonna slap you, Tom. I'll slap you.
I love watching army tutorials, army progress blogs. Totally understand you're not.
Ooh, army progress blogs. Ooh. It's not like we could do some of them. Go do some of them. You could do them when you tell her.
What's that? Oh yeah, totally could
progress
actually.
blogs. I could probably do them with mine as well. I mean, the converted stuff that I'll do, you guys might want to see. I don't know if you want to see that. Yeti versus Bigfoot. Who wins? Bigfoot. For my towel, I did Corax White spray, Ulthrine Grey, and 2 thin coats that are very careful with the detail.
See, I didn't even do that, Steve. I sprayed everything black.
Yeah, Harry isn't careful. He's savage.
Then I sprayed it intermediate blue, hurt from the side with wolf grey, top down with the white, gloss varnish, top down with the white again, and then start filling in all the gaps. That war game of it says there's some easy views right there, Harry. Yeah, it is. But
everywhere I look, people are saying how much they're gonna miss Chester Bennington.
I know. I've just been on Facebook and seen it all.
Just put out album.
They actually just released a single. They posted it 2 hours before it went viral. That were done.
Which single?
But it was found literally as that post had gone up.
Which single was it?
I don't know. It was on the Facebook page.
Goodbye. And it's Talking to Myself. It was 5 hours ago. It was posted. I liked some of the new ones, like Heavy and Good Goodbye was pretty good.
I haven't listened to any of the newest stuff recently, to be honest.
I've definitely put them on when I've been around, like.
Oh yeah, I've heard bits and pieces when you've had them on, but I've never.
I don't know what else is it. I know because they had One More Light was in, I think, the album name and one of the other songs that they put in as well. And then I'm gonna watch it later, Talking to Myself. That might be pretty good. Say goodbye and hit the road. Up and disappear. Better have some to go. It's gonna do a back rep with Necrons. That's one going up, mate, with orcs. And it even got a
Who's asking that? Who said what?
It is surreal. There's some easy news right there. Kick him in the balls with his big foot. Auto win. Yeah,
Surreal says, when are you going to do a batter up with Necrons? We did do one, I think it was the second ever game of 8th edition. But yeah, it's actually rendering now. Ali Bongo, how
Necrons got fucked.
Right, by the way. Yes, mate, it has 12 minutes, 37 seconds left to render. Then I have to upload it. And I've got 20 meg upload, but it'll probably still take 2 hours to upload. So, yeah, it will be up before morning. That's that's all I can say. I don't know. I've got 2 changelings here in front of us. I've got 20 spearmen, fantasy high elf spearmen. I've got a plague furnace, and I've got a gajillion fire warriors.
Do you know what I've got?
I need to paint something, but I'm losing mojo fast.
I've got 30 Orkanaut Company, 5 Gunstock Thunderers, an Orkanaut Admiral, another frigate, the crews of that frigate and my painted frigate, my Ironclad, Brock Rudgenson. Have you seen Brock, Harry? Have you seen Brock? Brock, this guy right here. My name character costs 300 points. He's about smaller than a dreadnought. And nice. I really didn't wish I assembled him as one piece.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. That's going to be so hard to get. But he's got guns in his beard, Harry.
Oh, wait there. So James Jones says potato internet. That's not potato internet. I pay extra for faster upload speed. What white on top was it? 2 seconds.
What the hell?
So the white I use.
I can't wait, Phil. I can't wait, Phil. Get your limey ass over to Harry's, take some models.
Just white, mate. That's it.
What do you mean?
Which reminds me, I need to actually check to see if I've got a spare of that. I hope I've got a spare white. I need to do my storm surge.
Better have some place to go, 'cause you can't come back around here. Goodbye. Don't you come back no more.
Oh, I don't have any more spare spraying white. I've got a magic blue spare, but that's it. That'll do.
Hey, Sharpie, lad. Sharpie, you want to get in a campaign by throwing some of your Nurgle into some videos, man?
Half a squad of Fire Warriors, something quick. Whilst the Fire Warriors are quick, I'm doing 40 of them. And I have to call the edge highlight them with some, what do you call it? I saw my paint back out now, so I've just mixed everything up.
Goodbye. 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 Sure, sounds like a plan. Woohoo!
Scooter Patrol!
Scooter Patrol! We were on Scooter Patrol to do a wheelie! Get blind!
So Phil's obviously been watching Rooster Teeth, right? And he put that on and I was just in absolute stitches laughing at it, right?
Scooter Patrol to do a Scooter Patrol to do a wheelie!
And then I was on my way to work yesterday, right? And the place where I park, we call it Bridge Life at work because there's it's basically a bridge over the dual carriageway to where we all park from the building. And we call it Bridge Life because it's Jeremy Kyle on a bridge because there's alcoholics there, there's fires there all the time and everything. So we call it Bridge Life basically. And when I went to work yesterday, or the day before, there was a burnt out scooter in the middle of the field next to the bridge. So of course I had to take a photo and send it to Phil and go, Scooter Patrol, do a wheelie. Didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Macker also said, how's the changeling looking? Well, he's highlighted up, mate.
Sir Real says, so which armies do both of you play? Primary, secondary, etc. And start doing live bat reps, then upload again later for 2 times the views. My primary is Tyranids by far. The secondary is a cross between 3. I think it's definitely more Zinch than any of the others, but it's either Zinch, Deathwatch, or my Gene Circle. And that's about it because the rest are sort of played that sort of way. I think Age of Sigmar now, once you get these fully painted, it's probably going to be Carrion Overlords all the way. Maybe switch up a little bit and do Zinch, but it's going to be Carrions all the way. I mean, Zinch is going to be muffled buddy kid.
Tell you what, that Wargamer, I need to paint my Storm Surge soon. I need to convert it because Macca kindly sent me the other big gun that I wanted. So once I've changed it, I tell you what, I will do a painting tutorial on the Storm Surge. Just for you.
And Sir Real want to see some army showcases.
Oh, mate, they're all over the channel. Go and look.
I think he's on about doing some updated ones.
Yeah, I need to get them out. I need to update the Tyranids. I've got some Yoo-Hoo Glukes. I'm going to add slime to them all. And then with my Necrons, now that I've got the airbrush and I'm a bit more competent with it, I want to do OSL on all the guns. Ali, Phil does not have the Changeling, but I have Phil's Changeling. And I have Macca's Changeling as well. Look.
I've been frustrated with it so much that I've got Harry to paint up. I've delegated the job to Harry.
Surreal asked, what armies do I play?
Cheers for that, Phil. What did I do? So what? What did I do?
I don't know the answer. I think.
What did I do? I'm sorry.
You answered something.
What did I answer?
I don't know. Anyway, Surreal asks, what armies do I play? Right, so I have Blood Angels / Space Marines. I have Khorne Demons and Khorne Space Marines. I have Tyranids. I have Gene Stealer Cult. I have Death Watch. I have Tau. I have Skitarii and Cult Mech, which are now AdMech.
Basically, go on the Games Workshop page, click on all the armies, and unclick off Astra Militarum and Orcs.
I have Eldar, Harlequins, Dark Eldar, and Ynnari by default.
Oh, cheers to that, Phil, and now you don't remember. What the fuck, man?
Kablam says he has Phil's changeling. I'm into changelings in a big way, Big Mech Dan Skull. Surreal says, yeah, your army is like software, Harry. It gets updated almost daily, so a month-old showcase is out of date. I do need to crack my armies back out, to be honest. Oh, God. Steve Dunn magnetized the gun. I did, and it's so much easier to store and put in different firing positions. Whilst I agree, mine was second-hand and it's already built. So getting it changed is going to be a problem. GW calls Harry when they run out.
What was that?
Surreal GW calls Harry when they run out of stock.
Man, we're laughing, but it's so true.
Oh, actually, in addition to that, armies-wise, I think I've probably missed something. Oh, I've got 30k AdMech, which I haven't played in a long time. I've also got Beast Claws for Age of Sigmar, Khorne Bloodbound, and by default, my Demons transfer over as well. And I can probably run Lucy Stormcast.
Say goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear.
Isn't Splat that guy from the kids' TV program that wears blue spandex and does all the flips?
Huh?
Big McDance says, I'm Spartacus.
Oh, yeah, Spartacus from Lazy Town.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is that even... Oh, I seen the other day, actually, the guy that played the bad guy in the purple with the Elvis wig thing. He apparently has been diagnosed with really severe cancer.
Oh, what?
Mm. That one gamer says, Harry is the Swiss Army knife of gamers with the amount of armies he has. Wow, Kablams and Big Mech Dan Skull, no, that's Sporticus.
Oh, Sporticus. Spartacus is the one who's like, are you not entertained?
What?
Are you not entertained?
What?
Are you not entertained? Say what one more time, you little shite.
Lucy says that's Sporticus in Lazy Town, not Spartacus. Oh, I'm going to do some Fire Warrior highlighting, which I don't want to do, but I'm going to do it. I should probably do the Changeling or this Plague Furnace or something, but...
Goodbye and hit the road. Pack it up and disappear. Better have some place to go. Oh, and me and Harry's going to be doing a competitive game off.
Hang on a minute there. Okay, here's a heretic question for you, Forge World or Chinese knockoffs. Who has better models, price versus quality?
Forge World.
I'm just not going to say anything.
Forge World.
I've seen China stuff.
I haven't bought any China stuff. Because I'd rather pay more money to know that I'm going to get a good product, and if it's not good, I can send it back to get a better one.
Forge World customer service is...
I'd rather have a guaranteed model rather than a risk of a cheaper one, and it might not be as good as I was expecting. For example,
isn't great, let's be honest. No, it's not, but if there's something wrong with it, you can go back and say, look, I'm not happy with this, we'll change it, and refunds and stuff like that.
There was like an old website, I can't remember the name of, it was kind of like an Amazon, and I'll never remember the name, and I had a cheaper Ravana riptide that I got for my cow, which is so long ago.
AliExpress.
It was so bad plastic that I didn't do it because I didn't want to break the model. I could snap the model in half with my bare hands.
Yeah, the plastic is very, very brittle with some of the stuff that I've seen. So I can wholeheartedly understand that will probably happen. Mikey says never had any trouble with Forge World. The only problem I ever had was Thalaxon. I rang them up and sent us another leg. It was the wrong one, so I rang them back up and sent us another one, which was then the right one. Also, Sharpie has 200 poxwalkers.
I haven't had any problems with Forge World, but if there is, I know I can send it back and get another one.
Exactly.
So it's like, it's just knowing that I've got that option, which makes me choose Forge World.
No, I totally agree. It's risky. I know people who bought stuff and it's turned up and it's not been as good a quality as they hoped or expected.
Say goodbye and hit the road, like it up and disappear.
Surreal. Phil's measure of quality. Can I break it with my hands? The grocer must hate him. Yeah, Phil, you probably haven't seen it. You're probably too young to remember this. But if anyone can remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito film Twins, where Arnold
it's a brilliant fucking film.
Squeezes them and smack.
I love that film.
God, it's been years since I've seen it.
Maybe because I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger should be president of the world, but
do you know what? I really wish he could have run for presidency because I think he would do quite well.
Because he did absolutely phenomenal as the governor of California.
Yep. Have you seen apparently someone's filed for The Rock to run for presidency?
Okay, I don't want that. I wouldn't want that.
You just imagine him on the phone to not the Al Qaeda, the guys in Syria. I don't know what ISIS. I'll take my boot, turn it sideways, and shove it straight up your candy ass.
Now I can see him going, The Rock is gone. I'm the pebble now.
By the way, if anybody wants to see what the tower is looking like, go on Facebook, type in Mark 6 miniatures, some MKVI minis, and go and have a look at my riptides. Triplets would definitely Van Damme as the pregnant guy.
So say goodbye and hit the road.
So, hang on. Somebody mentioned earlier, live stream your games whilst you film them and then upload them again separately, which gets twice as many views. I'm not going to be doing exactly that, but Rick Lewis made a donation via PayPal, which has allowed me to purchase a new webcam, because what you're seeing at the moment is just a built-in webcam on my laptop. It's not great. It serves its purpose. But I'm going to use it. I'm basically going to fix it here on the wall so that if I'm doing live streaming, I can actually, like now, for example, I would have it pointing down at the desk so you can see what I'm painting instead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rig it above the table so that when I'm filming a battle report, I can live stream to Twitch, then edit the battle report and put the battle report up on YouTube. So that's what the plan is. So a massive thank you once again to Rick Lewis. I know I mentioned at the beginning of the video that he'd made a donation. But honestly, it's absolutely massive that he's done that. It's just going to help so much with the production quality and everything. I do want to do more sitting paints. It's so hard setting the tripod up and having to work around the tripod like that with the camera. So doing it that way is going to be so much better. So massive thanks to Rick for making that donation via PayPal. Kablam says, I'm tempted to live stream my games. My setup is pretty much perfect for it. Yeah, I've seen your rig that you've got, Craig, and I would love to do that. But unfortunately, I live in a colliery house. So despite me being 6'8", I still cannot touch the ceiling without a ladder. So building a full rig like that, I'm going to have something in place for the webcam to do it like that. So I will have a little something. Get a GoPro with a chest or head mount. Again, I would, but the GoPro is so expensive and out of my price range. Like living by myself, running a car, running a house by myself is not cheap, and especially when I work for minimum wage, it's difficult to try and keep up with the hobby anyway.
And
let alone
personally, GoPros can be a struggle to get good quality.
Right. So Big McDonskill says, just need to make sure that your opponent has properly marked out their index first. Yeah, Lucy went right through mine and actually put tabs all the way down the side for nearly every unit that I use, which was an absolute lifesaver. She even did it for the rule book as well. I know GoPro hates low light. Personally, I wouldn't even bother with the GoPro. Well, I know it hates low light. I've got a double LED strip light straight above the table. I've then got two camera lights with LED daylight bulbs in as well. So low lighting shouldn't be an issue. But even then, I'm going to go for the webcam just because I feel like I do need a better quality webcam anyway. Plus, it means I don't have to have the laptop on the desk and my PC. The TV screen's like literally behind the webcam here, and I'm looking at the live chat here whilst I'm using the laptop for the webcam. So that Wargamer says you can't actually tell if the quality is that low or not until you upload it because the screen is so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find the same. Sometimes I find that the what I'm filming doesn't look very good quality, but then when I upload it and I run it on my full screen, it looks totally different. Oh, the video is almost rendered. It's 100%. Kablams, did you get a C920? No, I didn't. I couldn't afford a C920. I would have loved one, but it was out in price range. So I didn't, but it is something I need to get. With there. Mikey's off. No worries, mate. Catch you later. So I have had GoPro replace two cameras without so much as a single question. We made one phone call. The brand new one came out the next day. Sharpie says, by the way, Phil, what did I agree to earlier?
So me and Harry's doing a narrative campaign, and we're having a whole bunch of the demon gods, and just so we can have access to more Nurgle, would you like to go and join in?
Basically.
Or if you don't want to join in, are we okay to learn some Nurgle?
Steve Dunn sent you pics on the scheme I used for my surge. Kablams, I was going to advise adjusting the lenses if you did, because the C920s can't focus beyond about 2 feet out of the box. Fair enough.
Better hands on, please.
Oh, Steve's just sent us some pictures on his Storm Surge. That looks fantastic. However, like I said, I picked mine up second hand. I'm missing I think it's the airburst and fragmentation launchers off the bottom. And I'm also missing something off the left-hand side as well. Oh man, I don't want to do all this edge highlighting on the guns and stuff. It's too painstakingly slow.
And yeah, I'm pitting my ironclad right now, man. Ironclad's good. That's cool. More than happy to join in. Awesome.
Yeah, he says he's up the contents of the box now as well, because he wanted a bigger game. Because we did the kind of how to play kind of battle report type thing with the contents of the box. Believe it or not, the Space Marines actually had a lot more points than the Nurgle.
I can believe that.
In the box, I think the Nurgle's even power points, I think they came like 43. The Space Marines had like 50.
I can believe that. I can believe that Potswalkers are probably the reason because of that.
Well, we actually played them wrong because Sharpie didn't realize that they actually have disgusting resilience and that they don't take morale checks. So when I killed 11 of them and then leadership the rest of them off the board, probably wouldn't have.
Plus, you could put Typhus near them now. Get a little boost.
That war game, how many Fire Warriors are you on? What? How many have I done or how many am I doing?
Harry's a batch painter, so.
Well, I'm doing 48.
Ooh, getting some paint on a Talos. Oh, cheeky little call.
Yeah, great. I've seen your magnetization video that you have way more patience than me. I originally bought 6 Talos to run the Dark Artisan and the Corpse Thief, and I got them all secondhand for about a tenner each. So none of mine are magnetized, unfortunately. I haven't even got the spare weapons. Actually, I have a massive favour if possible, Craig. If I drop you a few quid via PayPal, can I buy a couple of the spare Talos masks off you? Because I've got 3 more Rat Ogres that I want to turn into Grotesques, but I can't get a hold of any Talos masks. So if that would be okay, I'll inbox you to discuss.
Grotesques are weird.
Surreal says, that's why live bat reps are awesome. The chat can and will tell you when you mess up. Yes, it can and will, but filming a battle report whilst streaming and trying to watch the chat at the same time would be very, very difficult unless, for example, say me and Liam or me and Tom's playing, unless Phil is sat here at the computer, and then when I'm not recording the camera, Phil tells us what's wrong. So yeah. Oh, Craig, that's legendary, mate.
I'm having a 1K game against
You what?
Sharpie. Are you having a game against Sharpie soon?
Soonish, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like 1K.
Well, whatever he's got painted up for, he wanted a bigger game than what was just in the box.
Oh, okay, cool.
In fact, do you want to play with Sharpie? Because Sharpie just wants to wrap the games up, really. Ali Bongo says, Harry, you'll need someone talking at the chat most of the time. I totally agree. I can kind of do it on the fly between filming. As I'm filming with the camera, I'm telling what's happening anyway. So I can do that and then just obviously talk to the camera in and out of it as well. Craig, Kablams, I'll drop you a message. And I know you messaged me about 10 days ago, and I'm really sorry I didn't get back to you. It's been manic, and like I said, I had my final exam at college. and I've had a lot going on and stuff as well. So I will drop you a message, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you before. Ali says you could do 1 live game a week or 2 weeks to begin with, then increase it. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably just give it a go at first, just doing one every now and then. So that basically I'm live streaming whilst filming the actual battle report, because I don't want to lose any content. Especially with only having the one camera, which would be top down, I wouldn't have the facility to jump between 3 or 4 cameras. Kablan says, so are you still thinking tournaments are a no-go for you? I've been considering my first in November. It depends, Craig, because I'm a competitive person. Naturally, I am. I want to be the best there is. I want to do my best.
I want to be the very best. Bow, bow, bow. No one ever was.
It depends. I went to a tournament of Battle Bunker this weekend, just gone, and it was all about kill points, and I killed my opponent the first 2 games, so got 2 major victories. I then played Graham, the Slanesh player who's played Sigmar on the channel before. Graham's a great guy, he's a really good friend, and when we got drawn against each other, we were like, this is going to be good. He hates Beast Claws, right? But he actually said that the way I played them was actually quite fun.
Please tell me that.
I didn't take the Thunder Tusk that everybody normally takes. I took the Stonehorn.
Please tell me you guys got that.
What?
Did you hear me start singing that theme tune?
Pokemon?
Did you hear me sing it all up?
No.
God damn it, I cut out. I cut out just before I finished it. It was beautiful. God damn it.
Anyway, me and Graham ended up drawn because we played Gift from the Heavens, and we both only controlled our own objective for all 4 turns. So on points, it was a draw, but I destroyed all of his army except for 100-point unit. And basically, we tied on 2 major wins and a draw apiece. And despite me getting more kill points throughout the tournament, Graham was awarded tournament champion because he got a favourite game vote. And it's kind of like, how do you win in that situation? Because I'll hold my hands up. I took a list to table my opponents, right? I took a Huskard on Stonehorn, a unit of 4 Monfang, because when the Stonehorn attacks, they attack as well. I ran Destruction to make sure I got moved up, and I took a Battle Brute to make sure I was hitting as well. And I had a unit of 4 Monfangs running alongside to basically double team and kill whatever they touched. And I was never ever going to win the favourite game vote. I find very much that when I'm playing games, I can be competitive, but I'm not an asshole about it. Graham is the nicest guy in the world, and I'm glad that he won. I didn't understand why a favourite game vote affected the tournament outcome. So I wasn't too fussed on that. The last tournament I played in as well, I played against someone who was very, very competitive, and I actually walked out of the tournament because this person was arguing that I couldn't see a zombie dragon behind a realm gate with my bloodthirster, which obviously I clearly could. And then I had like a unit of 30 bloodletters. I had 5 corn bloodhounds like right at the back of the table, doing nothing. They were basically there to jump forward in subsequent turns. And because one of them was like 1.05 inches away from the other one, and coherency is an inch, he kept arguing over that with us. And I was just like, look, you know what? Have the game I don't want to play. And it made it so unenjoyable. Now, I am going to give 40k tournaments a go. I have played in about 3 or 4 other tournaments. I played in the doubles with Phil back in February. I played in 1 in October last year. I think I played 1 in March the year last year as well. So I've played 4 in nearly 2 years. But I am going to give the NWO a go, but I'm mainly going to that to socialise. I'm taking the Harlequins. They're reasonably good, but they're not. It's not a killer list. I'm basically taking what I've got, minus a character or two. But I'm literally going there to catch up with some friends. Like, I've never met Alistair Everett. I was supposed to play him last year, but unfortunately, circumstances meant he couldn't make it. So it's going to be nice to finally meet Alistair. I'm going to meet Ace Face. I'm going to play Ace as a friendly game. I'm going to catch up with Maka and play a friendly game against him. And then I'm just going to enjoy whatever games I get drawn against it and not be bothered about winning. Because if I start thinking, yeah, I'm going to go for the win, then I'll get competitive and then I'll start to get annoyed. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, for everybody that's still watching, Maka, be a hammer. Yes! If we're within walking distance of the hotel, totally, dude, me and you, be a hammer on the Friday night. Or Cider Hammer. Cider Hammer. Definitely Cider Hammer. Oh, God, I think I just seen your pants, Phil.
No, it's my pajama shorts. Right. Oh my goodness, I can't believe no paint came out of that. I just shook my silver whilst it was open. I can't believe no paint.
Lead belcher.
Was that her?
Was it your lead belcher?
Eh?
Was it lead belcher?
Yeah.
That's why, because the base coat is really thick. Surreal says American Team Championship was all Storm Raven list. Yeah, me and Phil already discussed that. Gulliman with 5 Storm Ravens was just, excuse me language, bullshit.
No, it was 3 Storm Ravens, some Storm Talons, and then some Storm Hawks. No, I think it was like 5 Marines and a Captain. Which, in my opinion, I think it's boring. So, I don't know why someone would take it. Sounds like you'd have like a really bad thing. I also refuse to believe that no one was able to take down 5 Storm Ravens. That doesn't seem nothing.
You what?
I refuse to believe that no one could take down 5 Storm Ravens.
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like I could do it very easily.
Yeah, especially with Tyranids, because obviously if they drop the hover mode, you've got loads of stuff to charge them. If they don't drop them on hover mode, no problem, you've got the Harpy.
Yeah, no, but combat's not where. I mean, okay, it is sort of where Tyranids shine, but it's the exocrine shooting. Yeah. It's the mortal wound.
I wonder, would the Onager, would 3 Onagers and Call...
See, I think the Onager thing could take it out very easily as well.
3 units of Castellans and 3 Data Smiths and Call, 3 Onagers and 2 Iron Striders. I reckon that could have taken them down. Like, I was considering entering a 40k tournament at Battle Bunker next week.
I'm going.
Next week. Yeah, Phil's playing in it, but I don't think I will. I was considering taking 6 robots, all with 3 phosphors, 3 Data Smiths to change them so that they double tap, have Call within 6 inches of all of them so that they reroll an all failed hits, with 3 Onagers, all with neutron lasers and heavy stubbers, leaves me with enough points to take 2 Iron Striders with las cannons, 2 Dragoons with taser lancers, and then 60 points left over to take 5 Vanguard.
And I think that's a really good list.
It is, especially considering it's Eternal War, so to jump on the objectives at the end, probably. That Wargame says Corn is one tough bastard. Yes, he is.
I actually think he'd take it out by like 12. Like, I don't think he's invincible, but you need to have the right thing to take him down.
The thing is as well, right, you can heal himself, then you can have the other Dominus heal him.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When I'm thinking about taking him out, I'm not thinking about leaving him alive after the first round of combat.
Yeah, but like if you get there with the Swarm Lord, like he's never going to survive.
It's going to tear him a new one. But what I'm thinking of is like Trigon with 20 Gene Stealers popping out of it.
Right, the problem that you've got there is he's surrounded by all them robots. You're not going to get them.
I also think I just need to shoot one of those Onegas dead to get that one. And I'm fine with multi-charging.
I'll tell you what, right? Let me pin up these 2 Balistaris and these 4 robots, and we'll try it.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm not going to go up the tournament because if I turn up with a list like that, right, I might beat the opponents, but then they're just going to think I'm a dick. I'm not going to get a favourite game vote. So whoever doesn't get as many wins as me, but more favourite game votes, is going to win. So, like, why would I bother? Whereas Phil, on the other hand, has a strong list and he has the banter to be able to get favourite game votes.
According to that Wargame, I have a silky voice as well.
Tau tanks are now pretty good, especially when paired with long strike. Yeah, I haven't got long strike. I do have one thing that I can actually run the gun on. What is it? The hammerhead. Yeah, I've got Devilfish without the top glued on, so I can actually run it as a hammerhead. So I could actually just convert a long strike to go in the top. I'm desperate to get my Tau done.
Get them done.
What?
Get them done.
Surreal says, from all the bat reps I've been watching, Necron Destroyers are a contender. Necron Destroyers are very good, but very expensive. And Phil, I'm trying to get them done, but
not good enough.
The demoralization and stuff from all the fine hinting of lines.
Not good enough.
I have a couple of hammerheads from the drone army.
I wonder where the Skyres are going. They're pretty cool.
Tell you what, I did see on Facebook today, actually. A guy had converted the Storm Surge and used the arms from, I think, Cromlech. So he was carrying the big gun in his arms instead. And done the Skyray top with the boombox speaker missile launcher things on it on his back instead. Tons of damage, fly into the disengage and shoot, and reanimate with all 3 wounds, or and reroll 1s to hit. And if you take a Lord, the reroll 1s to wound 2, which if you then take a normal Lord and give them My Will Be Done, means you're hitting on 2s, rerolling the 1s, wounding most of the time on 3s, rerolling 1s. So yeah, pretty good. And then obviously the Cryptek to give them reanimation, then a Resorb on the Lord. Problem is though, once you start losing models, it's hard to. Steve Dunn, switch to Paint Blue Angels, did too much Tau in one go. Yeah, I'll probably not paint any Tau for a while once I've got all these done. But the reason I won't need to do much else is because all of me crisis suits, my broadsides, and my riptides are with Darren from Mark 6 Miniatures. He is painting them up for me. And I'm basically doing all of the foot guys, the ghost keel, about 20 drones, and the storm surge. Take says as he gives will be done, and the +1 to reanimate. Good call. Good call. Get it? Phil laugh.
Boop, boop, boo-doo-doo-doo. Boop, boop, boo-doo-doo-doo, boop. Stories are probably my favorite Necron, bar the Acanthrites and the Millipede.
But he can't do the destroyers on the roof. No, he can't. That's the only problem. Is the only thing busted Necron destroyers is the destroyer lord. Nothing else can keep up. Command barge can, but all it does is wave of command, which it's all right. But no, I've got 12 more to do. And that's not even including the breaches.
So say goodbye and hit the road. Back it up and disappear. Okay.
Will I go to Games Workshop tomorrow?
No, probably not.
I would have called in to see you if you were.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do if I was doing
Cool. Are we playing Warhmmer tomorrow?
that. If we are, it means I have to stay over there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'll need to see how I sleep today then. I haven't been getting great sleep over the past few weeks.
Okie doke. Still unsure about the Catan and the Doom size.
I mean, I'll definitely come up for like a paint at dawn or something like that, you know?
Yeah, man. Oh, I missed a delivery today, so I'm hoping. I doubt it was, but there is a slim possibility it could have been a webcam.
All right, that'd be cool.
I don't know if it's got a built-in microphone at that. I hope it has. I forgot to look at that. If not, I'll have to pick one up.
Oh. Deceiver, Nightbringer, or Transcendent. I don't know what you're talking about, Harry. Translate.
He wants to. No, he's asking.
Oh. I don't know. I don't know how they play. You're talking about you pick?
Yeah, I actually used. Oh, I forgot to press upload on the battle report. So it could have been uploading for like last 30, 40 minutes.
Don't tell them, Harry. They're like savages. I'll tell you.
There we go. It's uploading now. Anyway, for everybody that's still here watching, we've still got 18 viewers, Phil.
Ah.
I've got a question. If you haven't already looked at it, then go look at it after we finish the live stream. But for those who have seen it, what do you think of the backdrops? Phil was impressed when I made one in front of him in about 20 minutes, weren't you?
Yeah. He pulled it out of nowhere. Giggy. Ali Bongo says, Deceivers are my favourite one. Start the game 3 units to 20 warriors in the middle of the board.
Yeah, I would absolutely do that. Unfortunately, I did have 100 Necron Warriors at one point, right? But then I sold them because I was like, yeah, I'm never going to run more than 40 in a Reclamation Legion. Now, it's like, I need blocks of 20 badly. Oh, man. Kablam says, lovely Harry. James Jones, very good, talented. Sharpie says they were really nice add to the scene. That war game, I love them, Harry. That Sunrise Sunset one was brilliant. That was literally just the foam board, wrapping paper over the top, spray over the top, and just blend it in. And that's literally all it was. But like I said in the video, who was it? It was Shane Sanderson, Maka, Ali, Tony, and Will all dropped us a $5 each on PayPal, and like they both go and do it, and I was like, wow, yeah. So I went and did that, and then Phil bought me a tin of blue spray. I already had some white and grey, and that's how I did the reverse side of the foam board. So for like less than 30 quid, I did 2 backdrops. So I was just like, class, and I really, really can't wait to actually film a game on them. Tom's supposed to be coming around on Saturday or Sunday, actually, Phil. So the Grey Knights will be back. Who he's playing, I don't know. I'll probably give the Harlequins a whirl out because I've yet to use them myself. And probably use the Sunset background. And probably one of the KRC boards because Tom loves like the dark, grimy boards. His favorite one's Fallout Zone, so I might crack that mat out actually. Went to Tony last week, and the Nightbringer and Doomscythe were the only things that were not very consistent. Fair enough.
Oh, all the silver.
Mate, look, I am pinpoint. See all them black bits there in the gun?
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. That is annoying the life out of me. Surreal says, what the fuck? That case looks like you nicked it from a museum. What case? What case? What's Phil painting? Phil is painting a frigate.
Nope, ironclad. I'm doing the silver in the deck.
Jono says, any idea for
damn it! You see that little point at the end of that fucking boat? I just dropped it and I went dish like that. Ah, that fucking hurt. Oh,
anyway, John says, any idea for a good addition to my Salamanders army? I just started out with what's in the Dark Imperium. That's all I have so far. Used to collect and paint, only now want a decent foster field. If you've only got the Dark Imperium box, I'd probably just stick to the Primaris stuff. Yeah, I would have the Primaris stuff that's up for pre-order this.
We know what the chapter tactics for Salamanders is now.
This is just my work in progress case. Board, like, cabinet thing. It's just cheap, but it's got everything on it. That I got from IKEA. It's got 2 mirrors in, and it's got a lot of glass shells, and that's all my Dark Eldar.
So Salamanders get each unit get a reroll, 1 hit roll, and 1 wound roll per phase. My opinion, if you want to go fluffy, you want Terminators with thin hammer storm shields because they're like the Fire Drakes and Horus Heresy. What will be a nice addition to your Primaris army is because you got no vehicles. So the Redemptor is out soon, and he gets benefits from the abilities. I have no doubt that the Redemptor is going to be a perfect addition to any Marine army.
Yeah, and if you want Salamander conversion bits, go on Spellcrow.
Nope. I strongly suggest looking at the Fire Slayer kits for conversions. Strongly suggest, like a little headpiece, the 5-man box which has these sort of like flamethrower little pole things. They could go on like the front of the flamers or your plasma blasters or something like that. You know, you could A whole variation, different things coming from the Fire Slayer stuff.
But I would also say still go and check out Spellcore because you can buy like tabards of like dragon scale and stuff.
But you can also get from
like,
Lizardmen stuff as well.
You are?
You can also get stuff from Lizardmen stuff as well.
Yeah, there's loads of Lizardmen stuff that you could use as well.
The conversion stuff. Make it look more salamandy.
Surreal says IKEA really looks better quality than that. I got it second hand. A guy was selling that one and the one I've got here. He said they were from IKEA and they do look like IKEA, but
they do look like it.
I got them years ago. I say years ago. I got them
a long time ago.
I didn't get them that long ago. I've only been back in the hobby for a year.
You got them just after you got them.
So October, November 2014, I would have gotten them there.
Because you started whenever you got your Eldar, normal Eldar, because that's when you started to fill them.
Yeah, it was then. About November 2014.
Back it up and disappear. Gotta have some place to go. You can't come back around here. Goodbye. My favorite conversion bits I've ever seen were the pirate orc head, so you could do your whole army to look like flash kits. What's your opinion on a first company Terminator army led by Lysander for a Highlander event? Phil is doing a flash kits army. Yeah, I am. The Lysander Terminator thing would probably go really well. I have no idea what Lysander did. But the high, it depends. You can get nice mobility with the Terminators depending on when you're teleporting them in. They can probably do a high damage as well. But I don't know. Just depends. But other things are in first company, right? Almost is in first company.
What?
I'm not a Marine player. I don't know what's in the first company.
First company's veteran, so you've got Sternguard, Vanguard, and Terminators.
Sternguard probably will be really good with their combi weapons. Vanguards will be really good. We're getting close for their assaults. It's quite a nice list.
Actually, I've got a question. Robert Michelle says, I'm having an ironclad like... Oh, he's already said that. Reed says, I'd trade a kidney if I lost my job. If Stephen Dunn's still about, in particular, because I know obviously he's a big Tau player, and I know you know a reasonable amount of fluff and stuff with Tau, Phil. Like, you know how Space Marines have chapters?
Yeah.
Tau have...
I already know the question. They have casts.
Is it sets that they have?
I guess you could put it that way. You also got like Earth cast and shit like that. So like Earth cast, Air cast, so like the elements, if you know what I mean.
So I need a name and a background for my Tau, but I don't read, so I've got no idea. I don't even know the background of Tau other than the fish people.
Your colours are closest to Shadowsons.
Join us, we'll kill you, and that's it.
Your colour scheme's closest to Shadowsons because of the white.
Right.
So I would look at probably Shadowsons fluff, which I'm not too familiar with. The only Tau fluff I'm essentially familiar with is the basic background fluff for them, and then everything that happened in Monka.
So what was Monka? Can you explain that to us?
So there's a certain sector in the universe around, like, there's like a Monka and Kayun sort of planet type area, and it's basically like a fight for territory between the Tau and Imperium.
Is Monica and Kayun solar systems then?
I think the planets in a system. Don't quote me on that. I don't know exactly their sort of configuration, but I think the planets. But it was because it's the Monica system. Yeah, it's the Monica system, so they definitely are planets. And the Tau and Imperium were fighting over territory because Tau want to expand Imperium territory. So, and it was based between Admech, Raven Guard, and White Scars, which was pretty cool. The Tau win essentially in the end, and the Imperium, well, the Admech are like, no, we're not having that. If we can't win, no one wins, and they burn the entire like planets, like burn them, which brings up the current fluff where the rift explodes, and it's sort of the big explosion, the big rift crack, the big smile of Gork, or possibly Mork, snuffs out all the fire. And when everyone realizes that, the Tau immediately send an expansion to Monica to try and take it before the Imperium, and it's called the Force 3 expansion. And if that expansion made it in time, they would have had that sector down completely, and the Imperium would have had no chance. But the Force Sphere disappeared mysteriously. Don't know where it's gone. So the Tau were quick to bring a Fifth Sphere expansion, ascend it, and the Imperium quick there too. And now there's like warp storms and shit all over as well, so the chaos is going to be involved. And basically, it's like Fight for Monica Part 2.
Oh, hang on, wait there. So Steam Gun says, Sept are the different systems in the Empire. Mine are Viola. Big Mac Dansko says their tactics aren't there. Kabam says there are 4 different types of Tau. They were fighting like mad. Some old fellas came and united them and then started occupying other planets. Monica and Kayun are the Tau ways of war.
Oh, well, there you go then. I know they're fighting over Monica though. So it might be like Monica planet or Monica system. Something like that. I do like the whole assassin. It's a really good storyline that they did.
See, I wish I could read the fluff.
The assassin thing was they sent the 4 assassins to kill the 4 leaders. So they sent I think it was the Vindicare to Shadowsun. Well, either way, there was an assassin to Shadowsun. Shadowsun got like a ghost keel and shit like that.
See, I've got my Ghost Keel set in hand. Now I really, really want to make a Shadowsun and Ghost Keel because that sounds awesome. And Bill's gone. So there are 4 casts and they look very different. Water, air, earth, and fire. Is that to do with the colours, Craig? So like, blue's probably the water one, and obviously red, I think Farsight is like fire or something. See if I can get Phil back. Oh, he's back. You back?
I'm back. I keep on like getting dropped out. I don't know why.
Surreal says, so if GW releases a panda army, do you all quit?
What's a panda army? I call pandas.
Didn't they say a while back there was going to be a new faction?
Yeah. Which I kind of think they were kind of like double bluffing us, and it's Death Guard. Bastard.
Just seems silly. That wargaming, having a new one, Harry. Those are the nations in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yes, Avatar is fantastic. I've just gotten Legend of Korra a couple of months back, and I've only watched the first series so far, and actually like loving it so far. James Jones got to go see you guys later. They fight over at Grelin, then Prefectoria, which is in Cayenne when the Imperialists try to reconquer Grelin, which is in the Mountain Campaign book. Aircast are lanky fellas that fly the flyers. Engineers and the firecast and the fighters. Kung Fu Panda Marines. The Iron Warrior guys have been leaked. Well, I say leaked. The captain especially is being painted up in black with white arms.
Who? What?
Yeah, there's pictures of them flying around. Loads of people saying who, like, which chap is this? And everyone's saying, well, it's Iron Hands, but like he's got white arms instead of silver. It's somewhere on Facebook, mate.
Well, that's no help.
The real CS relationship with Games Workshop is complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. I was like, coming up to the annual day where I go with the boys down to Warhammer World, and GW's like, puts its foot down as I know you're going to stay playing the local GW. And it's like, I'm sorry, boys, I can't go with this 6-year-long annual event of going down to Warhammer World. I have to stay home with GW. And then that night, GW puts its arms on my shoulders. I turn around, GW's in its 90. And says, come upstairs. So I go upstairs, and GW's lying on the bed. Drags me to the bed, pushes me to the bed. There's handcuffs there and everything. And GW goes, tie me up. So I tie GW up, handcuff it to the bed. GW goes, now do what you want. So I pack up and leave and go on the annual trip to Warhammer World.
Well, that's certainly complicated, though.
Yeah, it's a complicated relationship.
Right, I feel not like a woman before you say anything.
I feel like.
So, Keel, let's have a look.
I feel like chicken tonight.
4 stealth, 5. There's Shadow Sun. 6, 7.
Not gonna lie, UW should totally bring out a Shadow Sun in a Ghost Keel.
Oh yeah, man. So there's the 9 stealth teams. Shadow Sun. That wargamer says, "What the fuck?"
Told you my relationship's crazy. That woman goes, I know this is meant to be PG.
Hey, it's
like, true story. I thought you would say the prices are like surprise picks. No. The prices are like if your wife gets you in like doggy style position and pegs you.
Tom Taylor, right? It's not Tom's mate, Tom Taylor. This is a different Tom Taylor.
I'm gonna say this now, Tom. Are you a no?
So it isn't Tom Taylor as in Tom Dagg's mate, Tom Taylor. This is a different Tom Taylor.
I'm saying, but
still, man, you divin now what you's nattering on a boot.
He's definitely an orc.
No, he's trying to speak Geordie.
So I'm going to show you guys what I mean by GW's base system is bullshit. Okay, let's do it. So this is the frigate, right? And this frigate is supposed to rest on that base perfectly, without falling over. And if I do this, I'm now holding it flat. It's just, going to fall over all the time. So What I've done is what came with Brock. Brock got 3 flying stands with him. So, got some cork, put the flying stand right here, and it sort of rests on this sort of rivet, this middle rivet on the boat. When I put this in, it sort of just rests like that. It works very well, and I only do that on my 2 frigates to get that to rest. And if I'm not going to put wheels on my frigates boat, I have to do it on all them as well, which means a lot of Sky Wardens to fill. But it doesn't
Craig says he's put a video on this week about bloody flying stands, and yes, I did actually watch that, Craig. And whilst the Talos flying stands are the better of them, these new ones are horrendous. I got the ones for the interceptors, and whilst I like the idea of the stem itself, and Phil will agree, the way it glues to the base is a lot better, and it looks better, but fastening the model to the new stems is just utterly ridiculous.
It's just the stems for the infantry type guys is fine. It's fine in my opinion. It just means I can't play with it straight away. I have to go off and paint the model before I can stick it on him, or stick it on him and then break him off when I want to paint him. It's the fact that how did GW not look at those flying stands for the boat and not think it was going to fall over? Like, I don't know what went through their flipping mind. It's so stupid. Like, I've seen people actually go out and buy the normal flying stands for flyers. Found a way to put them on that. Like, it's retarded. Come on. That's like asking the kid, "Oh, what do you want for your dinner?" And he goes, "I want chalk ice and chips." Fucking stupid. It's like going, "Oh, kid, who's your favorite Avenger?" And they go, "Hawkeye." Stupid.
Right. If somebody do this, somebody please to God make a meme of quoting "What do you want for dinner?" Chalk ice and chips, and someone please put the chalk ice and chips together and post the meme on the Dark Artisan page. If somebody can do that, please. Reese, yes, the Orc versus Necron video is ready. It is uploading as we speak.
I did test it, and my ironclad can fit all 20 models that I would carry in it on it.
You'll not remember this.
It kind of looks like it's
second edition rules, right? The Orc battle wagon could carry as many models as you could fit on
it. You just see this like Jenga tower just like moving across the field, just like.
Surreal says, "I'm a grown man, Phil. I can have chalk ice and chips if I want."
No, you can't. You're a weirdo.
Somebody banned. Yeah. I don't know how to make memes, otherwise I would do it myself. But yeah, somebody please make that meme.
It's from Chrissy Beaker.
From what?
It's when they put the kids in charge and they're like, "What we're having for tea?" It's like, "Chalk ice and chips." It's a little black kid who says it. He's like, "Chalk ice and chips." So it sounds like I'm on Daft and Sideman. Locating Bill Potts. Searching for Bill Potts. Be a freaking voice actor for Doctor Who.
Oh, I've got a question.
What's the question?
Jodie Whittaker.
What about her?
What's your opinion of her being Doctor Who?
She's not ginger.
Is that your only opinion?
I hope she does well. Because if she doesn't, then she's going to get a heavy load of backlash. That's the only problem she's going to face right now, is if she doesn't do well, then she's screwed. But I'm more wanting to see good storylines, some monsters that have good background history, not some really crappy stories from monsters that were really good and now really crappy.
Weeping Angels.
No, I think the Weeping Angels were good in the first episode they were seen in. Then it was the Matt Smith Doctor two-parter, and everything else after that I absolutely hated for the Weeping Angels, other than their appearance in the Class season. Setting up the second season pretty well. Have you seen what Sir Real put up?
No.
Like, no. We figured out the Doctor Who thing. They want a Doctor Who porn parodies, so boom, female Doctor.
Fair enough.
Don't you love how the Daleks have gone from this like end of the world thing to being tricked by a jammy dodger? Yeah, I love that.
I stopped watching Doctor Who after the first series with Capaldi. I liked Capaldi. I just felt that the writers naffed him up in the first series that he had, and then I got bored of it.
The first part of the Cybermen finale was really good. All other Cybermen's things since the Doomsday, which is back in the first season of David Tennant, was shit. Utter shit. No, they're my favorite. Then my second favorite Sontarans have only shown up in the fourth season, like for a two-parter, and it was not even like proper Sontaran type warfare. So I want to see a good Sontaran storyline, and then we haven't even got our.
Is that the guy that became the follower when what was it? The short, stubby guy in like power armor.
Huh?
Was that the Zaltaran guy?
You know about? Just the Poison Sky, when they poisoned the cars with the gas, Atmos.
No, I can't remember.
The unit stormed a factory and they cloned Martha Jones.
Can't remember.
And the guys are like big potato heads, like a brown potato.
Whoa, what's the that's for Game of Thrones? Do not tell me I will not watch it until all of Series 7 is up. Then I will watch it. So I don't discuss Game of Thrones, please.
Right, look at the comments.
You bellend! Please tell me that is not true. Please tell me that is not true.
You'll just have to wait.
Oh, Phil, man! You absolute bellend. That better not be true.
It is like.
Phil! You fucking ruined Flash for us as well. Now you're ruining this.
That was not my fault. We got the episodes mixed up between each other.
You're like, are you up to date? I'm like, yep, I watched the newest episode last night. You're like, oh yeah, so you know where so-and-so bites it then. Right, can we just cut the Game of Thrones talk, please? Because if Tyrion actually dies, I'm actually going to fucking throttle Phil.
I'll tell you who actually died, though. That was really funny. Who actually died.
I don't want to know.
Oh. Bran died.
Phil!
Phil!
Like, seriously, shut the fuck up.
There was an Ed Sheeran cameo.
But I heard he was in it, apparently.
And then he deleted Twitter afterwards. Just funny. No, I've just been joking with Harry. None of that happened.
Oh, Phil, man.
What?
Bran died, and then John goes, wow, going into dangerous spoiler territory now.
Honestly, Harry, Tyrion didn't die and Bran didn't die.
Just shut up. I don't want to know anything, right? I watched 6 series of Game of Thrones knowing only Hodor died, and at some point something happened to Jon.
Daenerys got laid.
Well, yeah, she got fucking destroyed by Khal Drogo.
No, not by Khal Drogo, by Euron Greyjoy.
What? Wow. Well, I made it 6 years.
I'm going to write it out right now. I'm just joking about all this. None of this actually happened.
Surreal says you can't walk down the street without Game of Thrones spoilers. Well, I actually made it 6
Maybe
years.
spoiled Hodor's death house.
Only knew about Hodor's death and that something happened to Jon. That's all I knew in 6 years about it. And then I binge watched a lot in like a week.
Hold the door. Does anyone care about the Doctor Who spin-off Class spoilers?
That Wargamer says spoilers. I would say yes, spoilers, but like it was spoiled last year by everybody online. And it's over a year old, that episode now, so I wouldn't really say it's spoilers.
Can we block some users out? I want to block Surreal.
Why?
Because he's a prick.
Why?
He is a prick. I hate him.
Because he said farewell party.
Actually, I'm really disappointed, Sharpie, about that because we were told we were getting Torchwood back, and then it turns out it's only audio dramas. So I'm annoyed.
I didn't watch Torchwood. I bought it for my mum though, because my mum enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it until like series 4. Primeval.
Primeval was amazing for like the first 3 seasons. Then I went down, so far down.
Yep, I didn't even when Hannah and Connor came back and like the whole world was changed and somebody else was in charge and stuff. That just totally bored the life out of us.
I was finding them coming back and stuff, and they had this like grill thing, and that was pretty cool. But this whole story, like, I don't want to know about this whole thing of the anomalies, because that was like Cutter's territory. Just try and stop them, you know? And kill Helen once you're at it.
Mm.
I liked how they were introducing these like Victorian people who get stuck, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know?
I don't think I've got that far.
Yeah, it's the same season. Like when they come back, the Victorian person gets stuck, and there's like lizards that like camo and shit like that. And oh yeah, Terra Nova. Terra Nova was so good. Had a brilliant first season, in my opinion. And the teaser for the second season got me so intrigued and interested. And then it was cancelled. And I was like, no! It was so good. But then the actor who played the copper, it went and played the Patriot in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then Black Seals, it had its 4 seasons and ended on the end of the 4th season. I haven't finished the 4th season yet, but the first 3 seasons were really, really good. And Charles Vane, the person who plays that, went off to play on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, and now he's basically a robot, basically an Ultron essentially. I'm dying for Westworld season 2. I haven't seen Westworld season 1. Mainly because people made it so mainstream and good, just like Breaking Bad. I don't want to watch it in case it doesn't live up to the hype.
Kyle from GW Sunderland keeps telling me to watch it.
Black Seals is awesome. Yeah, I haven't gone through season 4 yet, and I think that's mainly because I adored at the end. I absolutely love Long John Silver. John Silver is the best character they've done in that show. He was.
Is it about pirates?
It's the prequel season. It's basically like 4 seasons. It's the prequels to Treasure Island, and it's fucking well good, man. It's so good, and it's like John Silver doesn't want to be a pirate, but he's like like stuck with him essentially all this time. And he basically becomes Long John Silver, and he basically like he loses his leg, and they put like a metal pike in his leg, and he basically stamps and squishes someone's head with his metal pike. It's brutal but awesome. Yeah, Jack and Anne were pretty good. I didn't like um, when it was a like sort of sex storyline. Jack was phenomenal. He was mint. Anne, Anne was all right. I wouldn't say she was great. I absolutely hated that blonde chick. I've forgotten her name. Guthrie. Eleanor Guthrie. She was a prick. Hated her. I didn't really like Charles Vane that much. I didn't really like Flint that much. Absolutely don't, like. I loved Billy and Yates, but
Ben Mallinson, librarian. The chick who plays Max on Black Sails is one of the hottest women on earth. Super hyped for Defenders, can't wait. Yeah, Defenders looks great. Hopefully Phil will come back, but oh, there he is. Phil, you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm hyped for Defenders.
I'm going to get my clothes out the washing machine because I need to get them dry for work in the morning, so I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. I'm hyped for Defenders. They teased the modern version of Iron Fist costume, which is great because that's the one thing his series was missing the most. I mean, a good story was missing from it, but you know, looking forward to seeing some Luke Cage and Iron Fist action. Looking forward to seeing Daredevil again. It feels like it's been a while. Hopefully, Punisher will show up in it. I'm not looking forward to seeing Jessica Jones, mainly because the only thing, in my opinion, that was great. I mean, she had a really good series. Don't get me wrong. But what made that series was Kilgrave. We need a warmer TV show. It's a lot of work that can go into this After Effects idea that I want to create. A lot of work would go into it, but it would sort of be like my like TV narrative campaign version of the events of Shield of Baal. Have like a lot to do with like hope. Will probably be the biggest thing to do with it. It would take a lot longer than a 2-hour movie just to cover the law. A lot longer, man. Yeah. I think Harry tested out the Cities of Death rule, so he made a campaign with it with Tom, which was Venetian 4. And then me and Harry sort of revisited it with the Lynch and Primaris game. And I kind of want to revisit it. We kind of could make the universe around this Venetian 4, starting it there. But we talked about so many campaigns to do, and I feel like this Deathwatch one can help us get a hand of the techniques, such as the voiceover. Movie is out. I would say TV show is probably the best idea. if it's a movie, we're gonna get one of those sort of bad franchises. If they are going to do movies, Horus Heresy is probably the closest thing they're going to do. I would feel like a Horus Heresy, Game of Thrones style series and seasons shit could do well for 40K. I think could do well. I think the narrative campaigns will start to kick up more. It's just planning them, really. Making sure they've got a good story and there's some good game types and shit to go with it. And that regard enough, like each armies or like a bunch of armies to make it look good and be good. And then the effects, the table, the scenery. There's a lot that goes into a narrative campaign. Like when we were watching Mini Wargame, we didn't think that much goes into it. But when you start to go and do one yourself, there's a lot of effort and work that goes into a campaign that you never expect before. Pretty hard there to make one, but hopefully we can. Hopefully we can make it work good. This one with the demons and the Death Watch and the the Blood Angels and stuff like that. Hopefully they can shine a light, see what we do wrong, see how we could improve, and then do it. Yeah. I'm going up against, I'm going to a tournament in a couple of weeks' time, 29th of July. It's more like a week's time, to be honest. And I'm taking Tyranids. What do you think I should look out for in terms of the armies? I know I'm going against some demons. I'm probably going up against some demons because there's quite a lot of demon players. I feel like I'm probably going up against Marines. I think I'm probably going to go against other Nids, but I think I'm pretty solid in what's good and what's bad for Nids, to be honest. So there's a lot I'm trying to do to make up a good list for the Tyranids there. I don't think I'll win. I really want to just go in and have some games and have a good fun time. My army's fully painted, so I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best work. I think the best work's my Caradons right now. So hopefully the Tyranid stuff might get me a best paint. It should be pretty cool to see. Tau tank armies are killers. I haven't seen any Tau players recently, like at all. And I hardly ever seen any Tau players. Like during the Tau reign in 7th, there was like one, maybe 2 times out of the entire 7th edition I ever saw Tau. I never actually played Tau in 7th. I never played against them. I never played with them in 7th. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it never happened. I'm trying to think of any moment I might have played against them, but there actually isn't. I never played against or with Tau in 7th edition. So that's crazy to think of that, actually. I never killed a Wraith Knight in 7th edition, which was sad. I came close a bunch of times, but never killed it. Then my first game again in 8th against a Wraith Knight, I managed to kill it. So that was just embarrassing, in my opinion. I think I'm going to look at previous armies that were at these tournaments. And if you can tell me what I should look out for in terms of those armies, that'll be a great hand, you know? I think there's definitely going to be a whole bunch of Tyranid players there, but I feel like I can do well against Tyranids. Mainly because I've played them like crazy. Yeah, there seems to be like there's gonna be like Tzeentch armies and Marine armies. Space Wolves probably gonna show up because there's quite a few Space Wolf players. Orcs probably. I know there's a lot of Orc players, but I haven't really seen them in tournaments. Probably gonna be a Slaanesh player if Graham turns up to it. Guard might even turn up. And there's a Necron player as well. A Death Watch, maybe. Dark Eldar. Alpha Legion. Wow, Alpha Legion looks so cool. Yeah, there's like Eldar, Necrons, Tyranids, Ultramarines. Yeah, and I think on that day, the Space Marine Codex is released as well, so that's going to be a bit interesting. So what do you think I should look out for in terms of them? So you play with yourself more than Tau. Yeah, I played with myself more than Tau. What does that mean by, like, I played against myself? Or played against Tyranids? I don't know what that means. I killed Typhus the moment he teleported in with Death Company Dread. My opponent's face was comical. My club has Necrons, Orcs, Chaos Eldar, Nids, Tau, and Space Marines. Yeah, looking at the previous tournament stuff, I think there's like Tyranids, there's like a Necron there, Ultramarine. I think Michael Bottrell's going down, which I'm expecting them to be the Blood Raven stuff. So I'm expecting Demon players to be there too. So I think I'll be all right. But I don't. The one thing I know for sure with Tyranids is that in 7th, I used to I used to know what exactly was good with Tyranids, like the High Flyers, the Hive Guard, Zoanthropes, and stuff like that. And when I was playing them and trying to make a list, there's no go-to. There's no like, oh, this is specifically how the list should be made. This should what you should conclude and stuff like that. So I now know that I'm not relying on my list. I'm relying on myself. Like what can I like? I'm relying on my skill in the game to win the game. You guys going to do more AOS bat webs? Bat webs. I don't know what the hell happened to me there. I probably drank some bad milk or something. Bat reps. Yeah, probably. I know we've got a big Age of Sigmar game we still haven't put out, have we, Harry?
Oh, the four-way.
Yeah, the gigantic one that we've had in our like stock.
And then 8th edition dropped, and then like that had the entire attention. I haven't even finished editing the rest of the Gangs of Comrade campaign yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on my current Overlord, Sean. So it'll be a while before they're ready to battle. But as soon as they're done, I will zoom over to Harry's and get a game with them in. I guess I could have a demon game with Harry, but I'm feeling a lot more 40k. I want to practice some 40k over the past few weekends right now, so I'm really looking at that. Thoughts on 8th Orcs, sir? 8th edition Orcs. They're good. They're definitely better. 100% better. I feel like I haven't played them enough to know that like best strategy. And then oh yeah, Reese, Orcs are strong now, but Phil wrecked my shit. Yeah, I do think that's because you haven't played the game. Like I've got like whole 7th edition, whole 6th edition, and then a bit of 5th edition under my belt. So I've got experience with the game itself and how to think.
You've also played a lot of Sigmar over the last year.
Yeah. So I definitely I played Sigmar and I played War Machine, I played X-Wing and Batman and loads of other stuff. So there's like I've got all these different games and all these different strategies and how to perceive a game and how to perceive some dice rolls and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like you haven't had that much experience. So I feel like more games will help you grow stronger. Which is why Sean was able to pull the win out against you. I mean, you almost tabled him, which was crazy, but it can happen. And Sean Blake, I'm getting more Zinch stuff done for the 40k stuff, so you might see more like of a variety of Zinch in my lists when it comes to the Age of Sigmar games. Harry's got his Beast Claws. I mean, it's gonna happen one day. I might as well just get it out of the way, which is gonna be the Zinch Beast Claws. So I might as well just get it out of the way. But I know that Harry's working. Probably not his priority right now, but he's got a load of Bloodbound stuff, so I'm pretty sure he's probably going to just try and get a Bloodbound army out.
It's still going with it because of how many models there is.
Yeah, and I have a Nurgle one. If I get the other Nurgle stuff painted up as well, I'll probably get my own version of Nurgle in. I probably won't be able to fit my Slaanesh unless I do like a huge combined force. And then that's my EOS stuff. I mean, I could put out my normal ogres for a game, my fantasy ogres, which would be pretty interesting for a game. And you've got things like, our beastmen that own army again yet. They're terrifying in skirmish, Steve. With the amount of models they can get on, and the Ungors getting some lucky rolls with their bows can be scary. I'm actually holding them up today against with my dwarves pretty savagely, but I definitely think because they get like a free move before the game even begins is like pretty powerful, and then like their doom balls and stuff like that. I think Beastmen can work to their own. I mean, hopefully in General Handbook 2 they get like their own abilities and stuff like that can really make them really good. But I'm hoping they redo that army or add to it.
And he's gone again. Not sure why he keeps dropping, but I'm sure he'll be back shortly. And to anybody who was asking about the off battle report, it tells me 40 minutes remaining to upload. Then it needs to process, so it shouldn't be too much longer. Are you back, Phil?
Phil's back. I don't know what happened there. Keep on dropping. It's really annoying.
I've got no idea. But I would ask you to please finish your discussion because I'm very tired and I'm getting up in like 6.5 hours to go to work.
Sure.
So please continue.
I can't remember where did it cut out on me.
Something about Ungors.
Yes, in skirmish, the Ungors were really powerful because all their bows and stuff. The British armor's pretty neat. Even the normal Bestigo dudes, and the free move before the game begins is pretty powerful as well. And then their Doom Bulls are pretty good. So I think Beast Men, not Beast Claws, are really good. Well, good right now. I mean, all old armies, they're probably one of the best ones out of the old ones. Like, they're better than my old dwarves, for example. And it'll be interesting if they get anything in General Hein's book too, in terms of abilities and artifacts and stuff like that, and if they actually get updated, because they're very fantasy-based army, like an Age of Sigmar based army, so it'll be pretty interesting to see them get updated. Because I can see them doing something kind of like the Beast Claws. So hopefully they do get updated. I remember when the Doom Bull was released, I nearly started collecting them.
Just before you jump ahead with that, I'm just reading Sean Blake's comments asking about more Age of Sigmar battle reports. There is more coming. The unfortunate thing is they don't get as many views as 40k. As Phil said, we've still got the 4 Gods of Chaos game to upload. I've got a 4,000 point game of Khorne versus Stormcast to upload with Lucy. And we did start a skirmish campaign. We played the first 3 missions. So they are all to come. And I'm hopefully going to try and get Tom to play this weekend when he comes around. We'll maybe try and do a 40k and an Age of Sigmar. I'll get him to play the Beast Claws and I'll play the Khorne. See how that turns out. Unless Phil comes around, if Phil fancies doing something.
I don't want to play against Tom. He smells.
And he's also very hairy.
He is a gas chamber, Harry.
I know. When he comes on, right, he farts. Absolutely.
Fucking hell.
And it's like, it's not even just it smells bad.
He's a mustard gas bomb. Honestly, he is.
That's his nickname in the group chat as well, Facebook, mustard gas bomb.
Oh, he's the worst, man. He farts all the time. It's horrific. Must have like something wrong with him or something like that. Yes.
Right. Well, if anybody is interested, hang around for about an hour because the Necrons versus Orcs battle report will be up. It's got 35 minutes left to upload, but then it needs to process. So please go and check that out. But as it stands, you can probably tell I'm rather tired. And I've got lots to do at work tomorrow. The joys of finance. I haven't even had a shave. I haven't cut my hair. I've just put my
yeah.
I haven't. It's frizzy. Look. I've just put my clothes on the radiators to dry because I totally forgot that the washer was on. And when it was nice and sunny earlier when I started this chat, I totally forgot to go and hang them on the line. So I suck. What?
My washing. I need to switch it to the dryer. Oh God. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Reese says, I've got no hair. Mate, I've got hair to cut. That's a good centimetre long, that.
Right, okay. So I'm going to go and do the washing and take a pee. So see you later.
Yeah, I'm going to be off as well, guys. So please check out the battle report. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to everyone that's donated so far because I'm getting some awesome stuff that's going to make the future battle reports even better. And they're going to be live streamed soon, thanks to Rick Lewis. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Phil? You've been entertaining. And yeah.
Has left the building.
So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you again very, very soon.